Hey everybody. Welcome to our reaction of Chapter 3, Part 2.
Three.
Or Part 3, yeah. Chapter 3, Part 3.
I have some things to open this with
Are,
today.
are we doing well after last time? Are we doing okay? Um, I guess, you know, not as well as we could be, but we're hanging in there, at least.
Today is about justice.
Yeah. I have no
Whoever
idea.
whoever the culprit is, they did it, or culprits, I suppose it could be too. They
Which,
did a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Probably one of the worst body discoveries we've seen since fucking Setsuka.
which
And
is
we
an
can't just let
accomplishment.
that slide, can we, Bubbles?
Nope, not at all.
So we're gonna find this person or people, and we're going to make them pay.
I mean,
Even if it's what?
you say that, but you know for a fact sometimes these things can be not as clear cut as we believe they are.
His head is missing, Bubbles.
Okay, that aspect I can't defend. You're right.
His tongue is missing. And that's not even mentioning what happened to poor Suno.
Yeah. But I also do want to make something very clear before we start with all this, because this incident was really disgusting and I want to address it just straight up. My opinions on this game and TA's opinions, they're not like the be all end all of how you should judge this game. You should judge it on its own merits, first of all. But second of all, I don't want anyone to take what we say and use that to like actually attack the creators. Like,
We are not gods. We are just two idiots on the internet.
yeah,
Why does
exactly.
anybody even listen to us?
That's what I'm wondering. But yeah, like, please don't take what we say in like don't just take what we say blindly and use that to do whatever you feel like and
If
just
you're
harass anyone
if
over
you're
it.
if you're one of those people who decided, oh, Bubbles said a thing, let's go and call Von Babbitt trash because of it to their face on their Tumblr channel, then we don't want you here. Go away.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that to be the kind of community that we build here. I want us all to actually. I mean, you guys who followed me up to this point know my feelings on this. I want us all to actually discuss things, openly, honestly, and above all, constructively. And sure, I don't like double murders. I don't like that trope. I don't like seeing it in. I think it's the worst aspect of Danganronpa storytelling, to be perfectly honest. But I also don't begrudge people just for using it. Like, I
Yeah, the
get it.
chapter's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet. And
You can't judge it yet.
I always reserve my judgments for when we actually finish these things. I don't just
Speaking of staff side, I actually had an idea and I was gonna float it by the chat. Wonder if they'd be interested in it.
what's that?
Well, obviously, I don't want to read staff side, but I was thinking maybe next week you could have a stream where you read staff side live to everybody. I won't be there because I am prejudiced against the staff, but you can read it. I think it might be something you'd enjoy. I don't know anything about it.
Maybe. We'll see.
That could be a good idea, especially since you need to start doing more solo streams.
Yeah, I know. There's still
I
things
can't
I'm
carry
I'm
your
working
channel
on.
for you.
Yeah, there's still things I'm working on right now that I want to finish before I do more solo streams, but I'm getting there. And it's
Okay.
it's an interesting idea. So maybe we'll give it a shot. But yeah, I just wanted to clear
And
all that up, and I don't want any more of that to happen. Please, if you have
yeah,
if you have a problem with TDP, like I get it, but like let's not act like having an actual critical opinion on a piece of work gives you carte blanche to treat the creators like garbage. That's completely unacceptable. Criticism and just bashing are not the same thing. And I don't
Yeah.
want anyone to actually associate the two of them with each other. Like, when you do that, one, you act like hating something equates to criticizing it. Two, when you do that, it makes people associate criticizing with hate. And you shouldn't do that. Criticism of something you love is more important than bashing something you hate. It's
And
wanting something
we
it's wanting something to improve over just wanting to call it garbage and then move on. Like, sure,
like
I'll
we criticize Danganronpa games all the live long day. We've had several criticisms, but we still think that all of those games are good.
yeah, above all, like what makes something good, it's worth analyzing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't treat something you enjoy as just a sacred cow, pretty much. You shouldn't treat it as if it's completely immune to any and all criticism. You should criticize something. I think you should criticize things you enjoy more than things you hate. Because if there's something you hate, then on a personal level or a personal taste level, you're going to be less receptive to it. You can say it has good
Mm-hmm.
things about it, but you're overall just not going to be as invested as you would be if it were something you absolutely adore above all else. But
You say that, and then we still do coho roasts like once a year.
yeah, but those are for fun. We're not like actively going out of our way to make reviews of
We
them.
don't pretend to be book critics
Not
or
at
game
all.
critics, for that matter.
Yeah. Plus, her works are just garbage across the board. There's nothing redeeming about
Yeah,
them.
there's lots of good in Danganronpa. There's lots of good in Tetro Danganronpa. Bubbles just the problem is Bubbles just said one thing that he didn't like about it, one small thing in the grand scheme of things, and people just said,
Well, person,
"Hey,
one person.
Bubbles said your story is trash." Ha ha. That's so why would you do that? I
It's
was so mad.
yeah, I don't get it either. But yeah, that's really why I wanted to address this because I don't want this to happen again. Let's not act as if I'm somehow, you know, the barometer for story quality. I'm just a guy who has opinions on the internet, as everyone does.
Mhm.
I just stream things. Don't take my words as the word of God. And don't harass people over story decisions you don't like. That's never acceptable. It's really it's really upsetting. I don't like seeing that. And I really wanted to get that out of the way before we started this because I don't want any
To
more.
And to add on to that, if we finish the trial and Bubbles or I have any more criticisms we might want to say, that doesn't invalidate any of what we just said.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we might say, I felt like they could have done that better. I didn't really like how they did that. That does not translate to, this game is garbage.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So,
It's just
now,
keeping that. So now back to justice.
yeah, now that we spent the first 20 minutes of this on that, I just really wanted to get that out of the
Justice.
way. Yeah. So,
Justice.
okay, we'll get there. Chill. We'll have justice.
Anime was all about justice. Let's do it for her.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for listening. And now we return to your back to the killing game. I can't word.
All right, justice.
Yeah, let's do this.
What? What the hell happened? Fuck! Suno! Go get everyone! No.
Poor Wada.
No.
I believe he had to see that.
What the hell?
Manami!
Stop! Are you fucking crazy?
Huh?
If there's one trap, there could be more traps.
Oh, that's true.
Trap?
We didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Because we don't know how many rooms they could have traps set for every room. You don't know. We could all end up dead.
yeah. Like, remember how many rooms in this place have been trashed?
Yeah. Not
So that's a problem.
something's up here. Something is definitely up. If how are we going to do an investigation like this?
I guess we'll find out.
Get her.
Then there could be traps anywhere.
No way.
How are we supposed to investigate?
Someone hug Wada! Someone should hug him. Poor guy just lost his last remaining friend.
I'm admittedly a bit confused, though. How does a double murder even work here? Are there two
Oh,
killers?
finally, someone's asking the real questions.
It has to be the same person.
Says who?
Ask during the trial. We don't have time for this shit. We have to investigate a whole second body.
Seriously, someone hug Wada.
She's not dead.
He's having a breakdown.
Please, he really needs it.
Dead. She's not.
Wada, I'm sorry.
She's not dead. She's
I'm
not
so
dead.
sorry.
Wada, snap the hell out of it.
She can't be dead.
She is dead. Move. Yanagi, stay. The rest of you... Fuck, what are we gonna do? Any of these rooms could be trapped.
Then what? Do we just stop investigating?
Okay.
Investigation's
Have you and Hama
over, I
investigated the
guess.
art room yet? Not the art supply room, the art room.
No. Not yet.
Okay, you two, go investigate that, since we already know it's safe. Everyone else, don't go into any rooms we haven't already been in.
So you really do just want us to stop investigating?
We don't really have a choice. Everyone fuck
Well,
off.
that
I'll handle
sucks.
the body. Go. You two.
Jesus.
Wada.
Wada.
Leave. I can't believe.
Wada!
Dude.
Then just close your eyes or something.
This sucks. Wada's gonna be a crying mess for the rest of this trial. I just know it.
Yeah. You know what else is, like, really bothering me too?
What's that?
Where did they get a gun?
A gun?
What else could have shot her in the torso? That was like a gunshot.
I kind of thought she just like got skewered or something. I couldn't really tell. It happened so fast.
It was more of a blast than like a skewering.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why are so many of our friends dying and leaving broken husks of their friends behind? This isn't fair. I want justice. Yes, I know Okazaki has a gun, but Mai took it.
Yeah.
Remember?
It's been confiscated.
He doesn't have that anymore.
It kind of reminds me of that story of that guy who set up a shotgun booby trap in his house to deter criminals, and like he oriented it in a way where it wouldn't shoot them in the torso. It shot this one guy in the leg,
Ouch.
and he
Ouch.
actually got sued for excessive force because he caused the guy permanent
Jesus.
damage.
Wada, he still has her blood on his face.
Oh, that is.
What are we supposed to do
All right,
now?
let's not waste time. I want to figure out what the
What
hell
are we
happened here.
supposed to do?
What even is that?
That's what we're gonna figure out. Wada, I need to know exactly what happened. Wada.
All she did was open the door.
And the stakes just swung down?
Okay, so it was stakes.
It was stakes. There were stakes. They swung down. They hit her in the chest, right
Yeah.
in the abdomen. Jesus. Maybe if we had gotten to her quick, could she have survived that if we had like bandaged her up? If we had stopped the bleeding? Because I remember I kept saying we need to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, but with a wound that big in that area, there's not much you can do unless you get like immediate medical help.
We could have gotten medical. Who's the medic here?
Suno.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. We have so that's the state of our group, people. We have no medic. We have no crime scene team.
Yep.
What will we lose next?
Don't ask. Don't.
Okay. I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
Do not tempt the despair gods. But yeah, like if you get impaled through your abdomen, there's a lot of blood vessels in that area and major organs. So
was still alive for a little bit.
yeah, you don't die immediately from blood loss. It takes a little bit. But when I say a little bit, I mean like 3 minutes without oxygen and your brain starts dying. So there wasn't much they could do, sadly.
Open the door.
And the stakes just swung down?
Right.
Okay, good to know. We need to get this thing out of the way so we can actually look at the mechanism.
How?
We can probably just push it back, but we'd have to move Suno first. So let's finish investigating the body before we do anything else.
At the very least, it's clear how she died.
Yeah, no doubt about that, but... God,
Yeah.
these wounds are deep.
The stakes are fairly sizable.
No kidding. I'm not seeing any other
She was
injuries.
just
That's about what I
alive.
expected, so... Yeah, we can move her. We're not gonna find much. We know the killer didn't tamper with her body or anything.
Please be careful.
Oh
Ew,
god, the
ew,
sound effects.
We don't want
Why?
those sounds. Ew.
I'm just gonna put her over here for now.
That's fine.
Now back up. I'm gonna move the trap so we can go inside.
Please be careful.
Hey, fuck-ass
Alright,
scientists.
Shigeki.
Fuck-ass scientists. You better come in here and clean this up after all this is over. I don't care how lazy you are. You don't have the crime scene cleaner to kick around anymore, so now you have to come do it. This is your punishment.
This thing's really heavy.
Right.
Okay, let's see what we've got.
Is it safe to assume the door opening is what triggered the trap?
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. I'm just not sure how.
I'm not seeing very much of a mechanism up there.
It's a high door, too. I wonder if they brought the ladder in here.
It would have been easy. The second ladder is just across the hall.
Which way does the door open?
Outwards, towards the hall.
Right. Okay, so she opened the door outwards, and that made the spike plate swing down.
Are you guys
If I
sure?
did that,
Are you guys sure we should be talking about this in front of Wada?
No, but what else can they do, really? He doesn't want to leave her, and they still need to investigate the crime scene. So,
Yeah, I guess we're kind of in a rough place. Poor
Wada's-
Wada.
Wada is borderline catatonic at this point.
It's different from.
just don't.
Yeah?
I was going to make an Ojima remark, but now I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Get how.
My, look.
Huh?
What's that?
Huh. There's a string.
I'm assuming that has something to do with the mechanism.
Probably. Let me get a closer look at it.
Please be careful. We don't know if there are any other traps in here.
It's not like this one was exactly well hidden. If there's another one, I'm sure we'll spot it. Just be careful with the doors.
You're not being yourself today.
Well, sorry if I'm acting a little weird about the fact that 2 people just died.
Also, the fact that
That's kind of a bummer.
Yanagi isn't telling her something from last time.
Yeah, he's keeping stuff to himself.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not the killer.
No, I doubt it. But, like, what did you do, man? What's been on your mind? Why won't you tell her?
Yeah, talk to your
Hey,
girlfriend.
Sorry. I don't want to interrupt anything, but do you mind if we come check out the wood shop while you work?
Go ahead. I think we're done in here anyway. There's still a little bit of poking around I want to do. Shigeki,
Right.
come on.
Oh, it seems the scientists can't clean up the bodies because they're not entering the building under any circumstances. So, yeah, the people in here have to clean up everything.
Well, what are we gonna do then?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
When did we lose Hasagawa?
I
Wait,
think
we
he
lost
left with everyone
Hasagawa?
else.
Yeah, he's just not.
Kenshi, you were supposed to stay with Ken. Where did he go?
He's not doing well either.
Well,
I hope he's
we
okay,
should
though.
find him. What if he walks
What
into
about
a
you?
trap?
Are you all right?
We can talk about it after the trial. I want to get this figured
If
out
he walks
first.
into a trap, then what?
What are we...
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
Be able to keep.
I think
Also,
he
we
and
still
I think he and Wada are both like borderline catatonic at this point after what happened, and I don't blame them. Like, this was horrific.
They can be catatonia buddies. Yay.
Are you alright?
We can talk about it after the trial. I want to get this figured out first.
What are we looking for? I mean, Shigeki and Mai already found the saw downstairs in Masanari's room, right?
What?
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good point.
forgot to mention, Wada, you're getting framed. You are being framed as we speak.
What the hell is that about, Wada?
What are you even talking about?
Shigeki and Mai found a saw in your room.
Plus, that note in Hasagawa's room.
I swear, I have no idea what you're talking about. What saw? What notes?
We don't know all that much about it ourselves, to be honest. You should ask Hayashi.
But what?
We're definitely missing a saw. Look, there's supposed to be one right there, yeah?
Definitely. There's a hook for it and everything.
Is there anything else missing from in here?
I mean, I can't really say. I didn't see what it looked like before. I just know that... Oh God.
Yeah, that's a mood.
Okay, you want to hear something kind of funny?
What?
I was looking at the chat last stream, and Reviewing was like trying to figure out who the culprit was, and she suspected Hiroaki for like 2 seconds before suddenly remembering that he's afraid of blood.
Yeah, he's. I don't see him being a killer. Just with that in mind.
For real, unless he manages to kill in a way that doesn't involve blood, like poison.
Even then, you know. Some poisons are hemotoxic. They make you puke blood.
I love hanging out with you.
Yeah. Also, I hate to say it, but it seems like Wada's being Himiko'd right now.
Himiko'd?
Yeah, 2 people died and he's getting framed for it.
Oh, jeez. Maybe he'll have a character arc.
Maybe
Maybe he'll have a character arc after this. That would be nice.
he needs one badly.
He really does.
You alright?
Just saw Suno for a second there.
Don't look. I need you focused.
You didn't even like her. What are you so upset about?
Oh.
No.
Of course he liked
did
her.
like her.
Yeah, what are
They
you
were
even
friends.
talking about?
With how you talk to her all the time? How you were never grateful for anything she's done for you? Yeah, you just loved her.
Oh, that's not true, Wada.
I think
he's leaving.
I think he's in the anger stage right now. Like I know the 5 stages of grief aren't really a thing, but that is clear anger.
Lashing out at
The hell did I
Hiroaki
do
just
to
because
him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Did you seriously already forget? Just give him some space.
Either way, I'm not seeing anything in here. Honestly, I'm starting to get kind of nervous. We're running out of time. We have 2 bodies and we haven't found anything.
I'm confused about how this is even going to work. If there's 2 deaths, do we have 2 trials? Are there 2 killers?
Does it matter? We can't investigate anymore either way. They already won.
Don't talk like that.
Hiroaki!
We're not just gonna lay down and die.
But we can't do anything.
Hiroaki. We're not
Let's
giving
just
up.
finish up in here and see what we can find.
They would.
Right.
They wouldn't want us to give up.
Yeah, exactly.
They would not. If they were here right now, they would say, "Don't give up."
Yeah.
Well, she'd say it all encouraging like, and he'd be more like, "Don't give up, dumbass." But you know.
Figure out who the fuck murdered me already. God, what's wrong with you?
Didn't realize you could do such a good Kamimura impression.
Thank you. God. Are you always this useless? Or is this just a special day for you?
Okay. Back to investigation. Silly comedy time's over.
I'm glad I can make you laugh in these trying times, at least.
something.
Oh
Wow.
God.
What do you
What are
want?
Shut up!
We're kind of in the. If you've come to mess with
Okazaki.
Wada again, don't. We're kind of busy trying to find a murderer, so just leave him alone, okay?
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Wada like broke one of Okazaki's knees or something. Like he's so mad and he's so done. I wouldn't be surprised if he just lashed out and injured them.
Is it bad that I would be okay with that?
No, not at all. I agree.
I mean, Okazaki, she's interesting and all, but she really needs to learn to stop poking the bear here.
Yeah.
Stay over there. I mean it.
You seem somewhat tense.
Okazaki. I mean it. Come over here, and I'll hurt you.
I find that hard to believe.
Okazaki, I'm serious.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him.
Where did you get that?
It's none of your business. Leave me alone.
Are you going to hurt me, Wada?
I will, if I have to. I will.
I don't think you have the nerve to do that.
I will.
I simply want to investigate.
Go away.
Well, go
I'm already
investigate somewhere else.
investigating
Aren't
here.
you supposed
We're
to be
meant
with
to be
Tamba? Yeah, you're meant to be investigating in pairs. Where's Tamba? You were paired with Tamba.
I don't know, man. This situation's pretty tense.
Investigating in pairs, aren't we? I'd like to.
I told you to stay over there.
Oh, sprite change. That's how you know
I
it's
can't say I'm
serious.
a fan of this behavior from you, but it's a little funny to see you in such a state standing over the same bloodstain you made the last time we talked. You really
Oh,
did make a
boo.
mess of this place, Wada. Have some manners.
Ooh.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to walk past you, because I'd like to investigate. I'd rather you didn't give me any trouble.
Stay there.
Now,
Okazaki. Seriously. I don't want to hurt you.
then don't.
Then stay there.
I really don't think you...
Oh, my
my
God, he
goodness.
did it. Oh my.
He actually did it.
Ooh.
God damn.
See, this is why I hate when people are like, I don't think you have the nerve to do that. Like, if you push someone, they're gonna lash out at you without thinking. Especially when you do that,
What
like
are you going to? Sorry.
it's a reverse psychology thing where like the more you tell someone they can't do it or they're not gonna do it, the more likely they're gonna do it. Like Wada just did. Yeah, I think he just stabbed her.
What are you going to do, Wada? Stab me?
Quote from person stabbed.
Yeah, I think Suno would be happy that he defended himself too.
Mhm.
I mean, hopefully he didn't stab her like deep enough to kill her. That would suck. But we've already had enough bodies dropping today, but
Hey, it's karma for everything that Okazaki did to him before.
you know what? That's fair.
Wada?
Hi. Wait. No.
Wada, did you just stab me?
I wasn't.
I'm bleeding.
You wouldn't stop.
Are you trying to kill me?
I told you to stop.
Wada, what's...
Oh, hey, guys.
Okazaki?
What the hell?
What happened?
Oh God, this is not gonna look good with the framing thing going on.
Yeah, he's already getting framed. Now
Oh.
everybody's gonna think, oh, Wada stabbed Okazaki, and there's all this evidence against him. He must have been the one who's been killing everybody.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
You better get a
You
baller
stabbed
character
me.
arc
Yanagi,
after this.
run her down to medbay. Help her.
You stabbed me.
You.
Do you want to tell me what the fuck?
Wada.
What happened?
I need to talk to you.
Yes, tell her. Tell her everything. You didn't get to tell Suno, but you should tell her.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, now we're in the art room. Hey, guys.
Can we shut the door?
Probably a good idea. Yeah.
I don't want to look at that shit right now.
What did Hayashi even find?
They cut his tongue out.
What?
Yeah. They cut his stomach open too. He was just...
Discussing it.
There were a lot of wounds.
They would have had to bring him through the art room to get to the supply room, right? And, I mean, if he was already bleeding, there'd be blood everywhere, right? So, does that mean they cut him open once he was already in there?
My guess is yes, because... Ugh.
Ew, disgusting.
Yeah.
Gross,
Like,
so gross. I feel unclean just thinking about it. Ew!
abdominal injuries bleed a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of major blood vessels in that area, a lot of vital organs, and a lot of minor blood vessels that are, that enclose said vital organs.
I don't like this case.
Probably, but couldn't they just have cleaned up the blood?
Oh, Hama, you just gave me a fantastic idea.
Luminol?
Lupital!
Luminol?
Luminol!
For what?
Well, for the blood! To see if they left any behind.
That's a good point. Like, if he bled so much, obviously it's going to get on the killer somewhere. So maybe they left footprints or something.
He was talking about that.
How do we even use it?
He was really excited to use it.
Yeah.
I think we just
Oh, well,
do
you-
something
well, you know
like
what?
this.
You know what?
What?
You know what? We'll use it for him. We'll use it in his honor.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's for you, Kamimura.
I
Rest easy up
think
there.
we just do something like this.
Huh.
Looks like we've got some digging to do.
What the hell is this?
It's a blood streak.
Then, he was already bleeding when he got here?
Or someone tracked blood out on the way out.
Huh.
It's kind of clumsy to track blood all over the art room like that.
Kind of hard not to with that much blood everywhere. I'm surprised we didn't see anyone with blood on them.
That's a good point, actually. With that much blood, shouldn't someone be covered?
That's what I was saying.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
it's not
they
like they had a ton of time to
change their
clean
clothes
up.
or something. Oh,
Maybe.
I guess they didn't have time. Well, maybe they're hiding it. A lot of people here are wearing like coats and what's the rabbit doing here?
Oh boy, I heard the alarm. Trial time.
But we just started.
Too late.
We still have so much to investigate.
The time allocated for your
Oh
investigation
God,
has
we are
ended.
so fucked.
Please report to the trial elevator immediately. Your trial will begin shortly.
Already?
But we barely found anything!
Nobody found anything! How is this fair at all?
Come on, we don't have a choice. Let's just go.
But, Hama, we don't have enough. We're not going to be able to figure it out, and then we're gonna...
We'll handle it.
Hama.
I promise. Come on.
I knew there was a reason he was one of my favorites.
I really like this friendship that Hama and Watery have been forming lately.
Yeah. Oh
Also,
boy.
this whole situation has allowed us to see a more serious side to her character. This whole chapter.
Yeah, for real.
I really hope you'll take her out of C tier later, Bubbles. Hint, hint.
Do I need to bias spam and chat again?
No.
It's okay, chat. We don't need it this time.
Where is everyone?
I have no idea.
Hey, Tomba, where the
What's
fuck
going
were you
on?
this whole
There
investigation?
aren't too many people left to gather.
Yeah, there's only 10 people left.
And soon it's gonna be 9.
Well, yeah.
No, I don't hate Watery. I just didn't She wasn't like super like up there for me yet, but that was before I made that tier list before we really got into chapter 2.
Well, I love her. She's my favorite.
Yeah, that's because you.
Shut. Shut.
I'm gonna say it.
No, don't say it.
You really like good bad girls, don't you? I'm sorry.
We have a trial to do. This is what you decide to do to me.
We're in pain. We need something to laugh about.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
But yeah, I'll move her up after this. For you.
Thank you. You're the best.
You're welcome.
No idea. What's going on?
There aren't too many people left to gather.
Well, yeah. But we're missing a few. Wada, Okazaki, Watari, Hama, Yanagi, Okazaki.
We're here.
Sorry
You
said
counted.
Okazaki twice.
I was gonna say.
for the wait. We had a bit of an incident.
What the hell?
I'm alright.
What happened?
I got a little stabbed.
I got a little stabbed.
He got lightly stabbed. Lightly stabbed.
That'd be more of a puncture then, not really a stabbing.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Just slap a band-aid on it.
What?
Stabbed? Who stabbed you?
Wada.
Seriously?
She'll make it to the trial. She's just in rough shape.
Hanano!
Hello.
You're covered in blood because she got stabbed. You what?
I got stabbed.
She got stabbed.
You got stabbed?
We're taking too
She
long.
got stabbed.
Where are...
Guys, I think maybe she got stabbed. Oh, jeez.
Mai suddenly came in and she's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Stabbed.
You got stabbed?
We're taking too long. Where are...
You!
My.
Who the fuck do you think you are pulling that kind of shit on someone half your size?
Oh, she is
Mine.
pissed.
Put her down.
You don't know what she did. Let's get this over with.
So I can already tell this trial is gonna be. Oh boy.
Let's review. Okazaki has been stabbed lightly. Wada is now under heavy suspicion and is also half catatonic. Ken is also half catatonic. Mai is pissed at Okazaki, and Ojima is probably about 10 seconds away from disassociating again.
Yeah, for real. And Hirowaki's probably gonna throw up when we talk about what happened with the crime scene.
Oh, he's definitely gonna throw up. We should just provide buckets for everyone.
Yeah. Whew. I'm actually trembling a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Haven't been streaming for very long, have we?
Not
I mean,
really.
discounting all the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, it's trial time, folks. Time for some justice.
Yeah.
Okay, before we start any sort of...
Ooh, look at the background. It's so pretty.
Those are my favorite colors.
It's so pretty. The blue and the pink, they go so well together.
Yeah.
It's sort of blending into purple at the end. It's so pretty. Ooh, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, we've also got a bunch of dead body sprites to look at.
Yeah, that's dark. Anyway, moving on.
Iris did not look like
Anyway,
that.
moving on.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay, before we start any sort of discussion, there's one thing I want to sort out right away.
Is it the fact that Hanono got stabbed?
No, It's the double murder. 2 people got killed, right? That means we could potentially have 2 killers. So then what?
Here we
Do
go!
we die no matter what? We can only vote 1 person.
That's honestly a good question. Monomoko?
In the event that 2 students commit 2 separate murders during the same case period, the second murder will be disregarded.
Disregarded?
Discounted. Only the first blackened will be eligible for escape. The second blackened will be considered innocent.
So this is basically V3 rules, but maybe actually happening instead of just being a pointless red herring.
Oh, but wouldn't that be so fucked up for Wada? Imagine you're Wada and there were 2 killers, and so whoever kills your friend, Suno's killer gets off completely, and you just kind of have to deal with them now.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have a breakdown if I was him.
I've always wanted something like that. That could be really interesting. It actually provides some potential character development and interactions we haven't gotten to see because they decided to make every single double murder somehow always be the same person. Sorry.
He's a little bitter.
A little bit, yeah.
We'd only have to figure out who killed Kamimura.
That is correct.
And then what? The second killer just gets to stick around?
That is correct.
But that's so messed up.
Regardless, that is how the situation would be handled.
Good to know. So anyways,
All
back
right.
to what you were saying about Okazaki being stabbed.
Yeah, that. Wada stabbed Hanano.
I mean, frankly, I think it's pretty clear that Wada did this entire thing.
What?
Yeah,
Amba.
you just stabbed Okazaki. What were you trying to do if not kill her?
Where's the poison?
I'm just waiting for it at this point. I'm just waiting for it.
Same.
I wasn't trying to kill her. It was an accident.
It wasn't an accident. You told me you were going to stab me, then you stabbed me.
But you... that's not fair.
I don't think it gets more intentional than that.
Don't even fucking start. You know what you did.
Well, I don't know what she did, so can we actually say what she did instead of just dancing around it?
She beat the shit out of Wada.
What?
She... huh?
She broke his fucking ribs. She tried to fucking kill him. If he stabbed her, she deserved it.
Wada, what is she talking
Damn
about?
right.
What did you tell her?
I didn't.
Leave him alone. I'm serious. Stop.
I just want to know what he told Hayashi, since I really don't know what he's talking about.
Yes, you do,
Yes, you
Hanano.
fucking do.
Hanano? What are they talking about?
Well,
You
Literally all he has to do is pull his shirt up and show them his bruised ribs.
Yeah.
caught him alone in the
That is
computer
true.
lab and you kicked the shit out of him.
I didn't.
I mean, why else would he stab her, though?
She did lock him in a bathroom, right?
And the server room.
So, I mean, it's on brand for her.
I've seen the bruises. She hurt
There
him.
you go.
I didn't.
Is that your only defense?
He stabbed her because she was a fucking threat to him. I'd have stabbed her too if it had been me.
So, it's okay to attempt to murder me just because you find me threatening.
You tried to kill him.
I didn't. Regardless of whether or not I hurt him, I never tried to kill him.
You... what?
Semantics. Oh,
You kicked
beat
him
the
in
shit
the...
out of him, but I wasn't trying to kill him. I
You-
was only trying to beat the shit out of him.
You kicked him in the ribs until he was bruised black.
Sure
Like-
did.
I don't care if you weren't trying to kill him. You still harmed him. You still made him feel incredibly unsafe in this environment. And you're acting
To the point
surprised.
where he couldn't even. To the point where he couldn't even talk to his friend about it.
And you're acting surprised that he retaliated.
Yeah, frankly, you kind of had this one coming, Okazaki.
I don't
Frankly,
approve.
after the
I don't approve of violence, but sometimes it happens. And sometimes
shit
you,
get hit.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes you bring it on yourself in this situation.
Not to victim
Kicking
blame or
someone to
anything,
death?
but frankly,
Yeah?
sorry. Continue.
Whether or not I hurt him, I never tried to kill him. Kicking someone to death? That seems kind of ridiculous.
Why would you attack him?
Huh?
He was a member of the staff. He's my friend. You're my friend. Why would you? Hanano, I told you to leave him alone.
You told me that after I visited Wada, though.
So then you admit you kicked the crap out of him.
Visited? I said I visited.
Why is this the hill you want to die on? Nobody even believes you!
Okay, ignoring whatever the hell Okazaki is saying, can we all agree that she attacked Wada?
There's a blood stain in the computer lab to prove it. I believe him.
I believe him too.
I believe him.
I believe him as well. I actually treated his injuries at the time. I confirmed his ribs were fractured.
Why didn't any of you say anything? Why didn't Wada say anything?
Because he was scared. That's why.
Okazaki told me not to.
Hanano! I don't care! I don't care that you were experimenting or trying to figure something out or testing something. I don't care. Leave him alone. Seriously. This is an order from the headmaster.
But damn, she's throwing her headmaster title around.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
we know it's... Also, maybe after this trial we should, like, give Okazaki the Yanagi treatment. Maybe that'll make her think twice.
After all this, yeah, she's been a bigger threat to everyone's safety than Yanagi has. Like, he had one incident where he beat Hiroaki's face in. Okazaki fired a gun in the trial. I haven't forgotten that. Like, she should not have
Wada multiple times.
Yeah, that too. She should not do that and then be allowed access to a firearm, which she doesn't anymore, but you know what I mean.
I took it away.
Yeah.
So we can establish
Lost her
that
gun
Wada was
privileges.
acting as
Yeah,
self-defense then.
Yanagi was also high on adrenaline, whereas Okazaki just does this regularly.
That's true. So
we
yeah,
can
that's
establish
something to
that Wada was
consider
acting
once
as
we're done
self-defense
here.
Mm-hmm.
Then
That doesn't necessarily mean he's innocent, though. I think we should talk about the note.
Hold on. I don't
The
know
note.
anything about that note. I want to know what it says just as much as anyone else does.
Note? What note?
We found a note from Wada in Hasegawa's room.
I never got any note. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So, you don't know what they're talking about either? I never wrote a note.
What does the note even say?
Yada yada, something about how if Hasegawa didn't kill Okazaki, then Wada would kill Kamimura. It was super fake. Evidenced by the fact that neither of them know what the hell I'm talking about.
Sorry if you can hear barking, that's my dog. She doesn't shut up.
I'm sorry. I was just found it very amusing the way she said that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. She's like, it's not the note isn't even worth considering.
Yeah, just toss it
They
out.
kill
Throw it out the
Kamimura. It
window.
was super fake. Evidenced by the fact that neither of them know what the hell I'm talking about.
I would never write that.
And I never saw it, so even if he did write it, it wouldn't matter.
I mean, Wada wouldn't kill Suno, though, right?
I mean, I find it kind of hard to believe he could even overpower Kamimura.
Anyone could overpower Kamimura. He's weak. He's kind of known for it.
Shut up.
Huh?
Don't talk about him like that.
Ken?
He wasn't weak.
Can I see the note?
Here.
This definitely isn't my printing. I didn't write this.
And it's definitely handwritten? They didn't just type it up and print it out?
No, it's for sure handwritten. But I'm not the one who hand wrote it.
Then who did?
Obviously someone trying to frame him.
Hold on, I'm not sold yet. What about the saw?
I still don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't been in my room since this morning. I haven't seen any of this stuff.
we did find a saw in Wada's room, admittedly. One of the hand saws from the wood shop.
There was blood on it. Unless the killer's getting blood from somewhere else, it's probably safe to assume that's the murder weapon.
But I never had a saw!
Then how'd you end up with a saw in your room?
I have no idea. But even if it had been me, I would have never just left a saw in my room like that. I searched dorms with Suno when Isuno died. I know.
Okay,
they
wait
get
a
searched.
second. Wait a
So why would
second.
I
Wait a
just leave
second.
evidence?
May I propose a theory here?
What's that?
So all the rooms are unlocked come investigation time, right?
Yeah, so it'd be dumb to try and store evidence in there.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is, during the investigation, the killer snuck down to Wada's room and planted the saw there.
And the note.
And the note in Hasegawa's room, yes.
Yeah. So, I never thought it was Wada to begin with, but the more we talk about this, it's very clear that it can't be him.
He's such an obvious frame job.
Yeah, he really is getting Kimi code.
Yep. Although now I'm kind of wondering who would win in the fight, Wada or Kamimura.
Honestly, my bets would probably be on Kamimura.
Why's that?
Only because, while he has a lot of health problems that make daily life not easy, Wada is on the cusp of starvation, and he's very tired all the time, too.
That is true.
Yeah.
Leave your thoughts in the chat. Okay, continuing with the...
You'll definitely find it.
I guess that checks out. Not exactly airtight, but plausible at the very least.
Hold on a minute. I'm not ready to move off of Wada yet. This is all just way too weird. The note, the saw, plus he was the only one who saw Suno die? I'm calling bull. He's gotta be involved somehow.
I would never hurt Suno.
We've been over this so many times now. That's not a defense.
But I wouldn't. I swear I would never hurt her. I wouldn't hurt Suno.
Whoa,
I believe you.
Okay, breathe, kid.
But you're accusing me of something I didn't do. I didn't hurt her. I would never do that.
I believe you, for sure. We just gotta clear your name first, though. So breathe for a minute and just tell the truth.
Right.
Did you find anything else in his room?
The key?
Oh, right, yeah, this one's kind of weird. We found another room key.
What?
How? Oh, yeah!
It's not a regular room key.
Yeah. The key I thought was 3D printed.
Key.
Yeah.
Here, take a look.
Why is it blue?
For anyone who missed it last time, I explained how if you're going to 3D print something, you need to scan it first. And Kamimura mentioned that his key had gone missing. So it seems like someone may have made a copy of it.
Somebody stole it, made a copy of it.
Yep.
This is why the Project Eden's Garden kids had the right idea. We should have had roommates. Then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Why is it plastic?
That's not plastic. It's resin.
He's right. That's the resin we've got in the 3D printer.
3D printer? We've got a 3D printer?
What even is that?
Exactly what it sounds like, Tamba.
It's a printer used to print 3D objects.
Wow, Ken sounds like he's got an attitude today. He doesn't usually have such an attitude.
I mean, that happens when your best friend dies.
I suppose so.
Yeah. We're about a third of the way into Chapter 1 of Eden's Garden, by the way.
We're doing our best, but Bubbles keeps having depression.
Yeah, that sucks.
Someone printed it.
And also, we don't like the protagonist.
Printer used to print 3D objects.
We'll get there, though.
Like this. Someone printed it.
What does it even unlock?
Well, from our experience, Kamimura's bedroom door.
What?
Someone cloned his key?
Wait, but the 3D printer isn't even working. I've been trying to make it run for, a couple days now? It was broken.
Then why was the printed key in your room?
I honestly don't know. I swear I don't know.
So what did they use it for anyway? Breaking into Kamimura's room?
Could Kazutoshi have printed it himself? I mean, he was having trouble getting into his room earlier, right?
No, his key was missing. He couldn't have printed it then.
Yeah. Besides, why would he do that?
Whoever printed it would have needed a copy of his room key to model it off of. It's possible, but, nobody else had his key, right?
His key was missing for, all of yesterday.
Does that mean someone stole it?
I mean, if they wanted to copy his key, that would make sense.
Wouldn't be the first time that something in here has gone spontaneously missing.
No kidding.
So you think they swiped his key and cloned it with the 3D printer?
Oh yeah, that's another
have done
thing.
that.
That's another thing.
Hmm?
We still don't know where Hiroaki's drugs are.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a good question.
I think we would have found them by now. It's been like a whole chapter since they disappeared.
You'd think, huh?
I was in my room all day. I didn't see Kamimura at all.
That checks out. I was with Kazutoshi. We didn't see Wada at all.
Then let's hear your whole alibi.
Huh?
If nobody saw you, I want to know your full alibi.
For when?
Yesterday. When his key went missing.
I was in my room.
That's not an alibi.
It's where I was.
Well, what about this morning? They killed him this morning, right? So where were you?
In my room.
Well, no. You came out for a sec, right? For breakfast.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And here come the holes in your story.
Can you really
Damn,
say
Turbo.
that if he leaves his room for a couple minutes to get breakfast, that leaves him time to do all of that to Kamimura?
Wow, Wada walks 2 feet to the left. Clearly, he's the killer.
Clearly.
No, I just forgot. I went to the kitchen for breakfast and then I went straight back to my room.
Straight back?
I mean, I went to the bathroom on my way back, but that was it.
Did you go to the bathroom?
Oh no.
Oh, good grief.
No, but like it's also been a running joke in Danganronpa that if you go to the bathroom, that means you're the killer.
Great. Now I'm thinking of this line from Escape the Night because like 2 people went to the claimed they went to the bathroom and nobody believed them, and they were like, we were peeing," and then someone goes, "Peeing with poison."
That does sound like something Tomba would say.
I know.
Did you go to Kamimura's room?
I went to the bathroom. I swear I did.
He did. I can confirm. I was patrolling. I saw him go in.
Can also confirm.
Why can you confirm?
I asked him to wait outside.
What?
He didn't want fucking Okazaki messing with him again, so I waited outside. It's not that big of a deal. I was just helping out.
Seriously?
Mama, you're such a
You need him to
sweetheart.
wait outside the bathroom for you?
Why are you so invested in it, weirdo?
I'm not!
Yeah.
I'm mocking him! God!
Well, either way,
I'm not invested. I'm making fun of him. Jeez.
Totally different. God.
we can be sure he just went to the bathroom and went back to his room, right?
I mean, I guess. 2 witnesses? I guess that makes it a pretty solid alibi.
Then it can't be Wada, right? Since he has an alibi for the time Kamimura should have been getting murdered.
You're sure he went back to his room, though? He didn't go kill Kamimura and drag him upstairs to the art supply room?
Actually, hold on. How did Kazutoshi even get up to the art room in the first place?
What do you mean?
Well, like, did he walk?
Wasn't he already dead?
Was he?
No way. He definitely died in the art supply room.
What makes you so sure?
I mean, aside from the fact that we had signs of struggle in his room, there was way too much blood in the art supply room to think he could have died anywhere else.
We did find a knife in his room, though. A bloody one.
Wait, okay, so let's say they brought him up to the art supply room alive. How? Somebody should have seen him, right?
What if they covered him up with some sort of
Yeah,
sheet?
I was
Someone
thinking.
still would have seen.
I was thinking something like that. Like that was bothering me all week. I was thinking like it's on a whole other floor, right?
Yeah.
The dorms are here and the art supply room are here. And you're telling me somebody managed to sneak Kamimura all the way up to the other floor while he was still alive, mind you, and without anybody spotting them. Because, like, if one person had happened upon this, they would be like, "What are you doing? Why are you carrying Kamimura around? Put him down. That's weird." And then the whole plan would be ruined.
Oh no. Oh
What?
no.
What?
Oh no. I just thought of something. Oh,
What?
I think you might have a point, but okay. Like, take everything you just said in mind, all right?
Right.
They found a bloody knife in his room. He got attacked. And
Yeah.
what's one detail of his body that they noted?
Well, there were lots of bits.
Yes.
Multiple stab wounds, missing tongue.
There you go.
There. You think they cut out his tongue while he was still in his room?
Yep, and then they dragged him upstairs. That way he couldn't scream for help.
Jeez.
That's my thought,
That
at
still
least.
doesn't. Stop making it worse, Bubbles. You keep making it worse.
Well, maybe that's what happened. I'm just saying.
I know, but that doesn't make it okay.
It's true, but I shouldn't say it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What about a container of some kind?
What, like one of the big plastic bins from the storage room?
That would work.
Did we ever even find it?
No, they didn't find his tongue. It's just gone.
So it could be anywhere.
Pretty much.
But we didn't find one of those anywhere.
I mean, either way, I don't know if Wada could even carry Kamimura up to the art supply room.
That's a good point, actually.
I mean, Kamimura's not that heavy.
Well, Wada's not that strong.
Kazutoshi's really thin. I doubt he weighs much anyway.
Yeah, but if he was all wrapped up in a sheet or stuffed in a bin or something, I mean, he's taller than Wada, right? It'd be a bit unwieldy.
He's not that much taller than him.
He's still bigger than Wada, though. Carrying around someone bigger than you isn't all that easy, especially if you're carrying them up a flight of stairs.
Look, I don't know if Wada's 100% innocent or anything yet, but I don't think it's exactly productive to keep focusing exclusively on him. He's got an alibi for the morning anyway, right? And
This
Watson
entire
is right.
trial so far has
There's
been
no
accusing
way
Wada.
He carried Kamimura up the stairs without getting spotted. I think we can put a pin in this.
Then
Yeah, like, you're not going to get anywhere if you just keep focusing on the one guy who has the most, like, obvious framing on him.
Yeah. Go bother somebody else and leave him alone.
we should look on the other side of that note?
What?
Well,
The other
the
side?
note was meant to incriminate Wada, right? But Hasegawa's the only one who had access to his own room. He could have planted it there pretty easily. Not to mention all the access he had to Kamimura.
What?
Oh.
You had access to Kamimura, right? I mean, you were always with him, weren't you?
What the hell are you saying?
I'm saying that we should turn our suspicions towards you.
That doesn't even make sense. Why would I write a note that would incriminate myself? If I left that note in my room, it would make it look like I did something.
That's something you do in Town of Salem, not Danganronpa.
Yeah, I think you're even playing too much Town of Salem, Okazaki.
Besides,
Also, Ken
the
would
notes
never do that.
Yeah, obviously.
that I had to kill you, right?
Ooh.
So how would it even make sense for me to have killed Kazutoshi and Suno? That's
I
stupid.
I don't like
Either
the way
way-
his voice sounds right now. Like,
He
I
is.
mean, I'm not insulting the voice acting or anything.
No,
I just,
he sounds really
sounds
mad.
so-
I get what you're saying.
he sounds so angry. He's never, ever sounded this angry before.
I wonder why.
It's a mystery.
I'm grateful that you chose not to kill me, Hasegawa. Even if Wada feels differently.
I mean, if anyone could have gotten Kamimura's key, though.
Are you serious?
He wouldn't do that.
This is getting really, really old. From this point on, I want to officially bar the use of "they'd never do that" or "I couldn't kill them" or anything like that as a defense. That's not a defense. Kamimura said it himself, right? So we should at least respect that during his trial. Plus, it's just annoying.
He makes a good
Yeah,
point.
but
Quickest access to Toshi, though.
I mean, you're
He
right, but he still wouldn't.
Could have pretty easily gotten into Kamimura's room.
Except that I couldn't, because we didn't have his key.
But there was the fake key, though, right?
Which someone cloned with the real key, which Asagawa could have stolen pretty easily, since they're always together.
I wouldn't!
Don't. We're banning that, remember?
Plus, I mean, you know more about Kamimura than anyone else, right? You're the only one here who knows about all his weird health stuff. You'd know his weak points.
Weak points? It's not like he's a final boss or something.
No, like, you know what I mean. You know how to exploit them. That
I'm
would
sorry,
be
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. He just said fucking final boss, and then I just had this sudden image of my head. I suddenly thought of Kamimura dressed up as like Sans from Undertale,
Oh my
ready to
God.
do like the final battle. It's so stupid. Why is my brain like this?
Seriously messed up, though.
And you were in the library when he died, right, Hasegawa? Right across the hall? All alone? That's a pretty flimsy alibi.
Did anyone else see you there?
So here's my theory then. Hasegawa took Kamimura's key yesterday when they were alone together, which is all the time, and then copied it with a 3D printer. Hasegawa's bright, so I don't really believe that he wouldn't know how to get it working, even if Wada said it was broken. He clones the key, gives Kamimura the real one, then uses the fake one to break into his room. He brings him upstairs, then he kills him.
That's not...
Or maybe the key was just so he could get into Kamimura's room again later, to tamper with the crime scene, I mean. Nobody would think anything weird of Hasegawa and Kamimura walking down the hall together, right? So maybe that's how he got Kamimura upstairs. They just walked together. Then he killed him.
I didn't do that. The last time I even saw him was at breakfast. I went and took a shower after that.
But even so, you still...
Stop talking like you know me. Or him, for that
Ken!
matter. You don't know shit about either of us.
Whoa.
I'm your therapist.
No, Kozaki, you're not. And you don't know anything about what happened. So stop making stupid guesses based on nothing.
But they're not based on nothing. They make sense.
I wouldn't hurt him. I would never do that.
Tisk tisk. We're not doing this again.
But I wouldn't. The fact that you even suggest that I would do something like target his weak points? What are you even talking about? I did more to protect him than any of you. I took a brand for him. Why are we looking at me and not the person who punished him in the decision game? Why are we looking at me and not the people with no alibis? We're wasting time. I didn't do it.
Jesus Christ.
That's the first time he's ever raised his voice.
Yeah, he's always... that's what I've been saying this whole trial. He's always sounded so shy and demure. He is losing it.
Yeah.
Imagine if he just goes on a villain arc after this.
No!
Hasegawa.
Evil Ken.
Breathe.
If you're done with your little outburst, I think it's worth noting that on top of everything else, you're the one who found the body. That's somewhat strange in and of itself.
Oh, wait, that's right. Hasegawa found the body.
Exactly.
So, it couldn't have been him.
Huh?
I mean, when you found the body, the announcement played. Right, Hasegawa?
That's right.
So he couldn't be guilty. The announcement doesn't play when the killer finds the body.
What? Says who?
Says basic common sense. If it played when the killer found the body, it wouldn't have played when Hama found Chiba, or when everyone found Isano. It would have played when they died, since the killer would have been right there.
So then, if Hasegawa found the body, he has to be innocent?
He has to be.
Monomoko, is that really how it works?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the mechanics of the body discovery
Oh,
announcement.
come on.
What? That's so unfair. Tell us.
I will not.
We don't need it to tell us. That's clearly how it works.
It does make sense.
Then he's innocent. You hear that? You're cleared.
I am?
Of Kamimura's death, at least. Tsuno's is still up in the air.
I discovered Tsuno's body.
So, at the very least, we know Hasegawa didn't kill Toshi and Wada didn't kill Tsuno. That's a start.
Not
Great,
exactly.
no one killed their friends. Great job, guys.
That's interesting,
It took
though.
18 minutes to figure that one out.
That's interesting, though. Like, in this one, it seems like only one other person needs to find the body. Whereas in the canon games and a lot of them, I'm sorry, you just have to ignore the barking. My dog is just like that. What I was saying was, like, in the other games, it takes at least 3 people to find the body who aren't the killer. But here, it's just like one person.
Mm-hmm. Quite
Probably
interesting.
could have guessed that.
Nah, I knew they were both innocent the whole time. We've pretty much made no progress.
Why would somebody... He didn't do anything.
Ken?
Why would somebody... Why did it have to be like that?
What do you mean?
Why did they have to trash his room? Why did they have to cut out his tongue? Why did they have to try and hurt him as badly as they could? Why would somebody do that? He
Ken.
didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm so sorry.
I get it, though. Dang.
Hey, yeah, hold on a minute. Can we talk about that? They cut out his tongue?
I'll admit I'm somewhat unfamiliar with the state of the body myself. I didn't actually see it.
I didn't see it either.
I'm pretty sure a bunch of us didn't see it. Can we talk about the body a bit? Everyone should be on the same page about what happened.
Yeah, sure. I can give you the rundown.
You? I thought Hama and Watari investigated the body.
They, required assistance.
The infernal energy coming out of that room was disrupting my arm's structural integrity. I couldn't investigate. Not my fault.
Translation. It made him very sick.
The demon waves coming off of the body were making me itchy.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
Shut up. Point is, I investigated the body.
Then, could you tell us about it?
I mean, first and foremost, obvious point, he was decapitated. Shut up. They cut his head off and hid it in... Where did you say?
Under the shelf.
They shoved it under the shelf. When I actually took a look at it, though, he had a couple stab wounds to the face. Pretty small ones. Honestly, a lot of the stab wounds are pretty small. That lines up with the knife we found in Kamimura's room. It was a wood knife. You know, like for carving.
It's a rather small blade, but they definitely could have found it rather easily in the woodshop.
A few stab wounds to the face, mostly the cheek and around the eyes. No sign of blunt force trauma or any other damage to his actual head, but his tongue was missing. We never actually found it.
Oh my god. I'm gonna throw up.
Hey, I was right.
Yep.
Don't.
Really hope
It
you guys
doesn't get
brought a
better from
bucket.
Maybe you should stop?
Don't. Keep talking. It's important.
Huh. Look at you. Anyway, yeah, we never did find his tongue. Did anybody else spot it?
Didn't find a thing.
Nor did I.
We didn't find it either.
Damn. No idea where it went then, but yeah. There were more stab wounds on the rest of his body, all the same size. I'm definitely putting my money on that wood knife.
Where was he? I know he was in the art supply room, but like, where?
He was tied to a chair in the middle of the room.
What? Ew.
That's the part that disturbs you?
It all disturbs me, but like, what the hell was the point? He wasn't exactly gonna run off.
They tied him up with a sweater and his hoodie. Not like that's exactly super secure either way. The sweater was around the middle of his torso, the hoodie was binding his hands behind his back, nothing securing his legs.
Was that all? No other wounds?
Yeah, I wish. I noticed that the stab wounds went through his shirt, so I went to see if there were any wounds I was missing underneath. Lifted his shirt, found a huge gaping wound in his stomach.
What?
Yeah, they gutted him. His abdomen was just open.
Like, with guts coming out?
Yeah, that's what open means.
I ask.
Yeah?
What was the reason to do all of this? You didn't need to do all of this. You could have just killed him and been done with it.
You didn't need to turn his insides into outsides, as I said last time.
What is the point?
Yeah, seriously. Why?
They cut him open. The wound was pretty grisly too. Definitely not clean, so they probably used the saw again. That one didn't go through his shirt.
Hold on. Stop for a sec. Ken's not looking too good.
Asagawa?
And
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the appropriate response.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep going. There's still more shit to talk about.
Right. Keep going.
We found a couple of other wounds on his inner thigh. They didn't look very new, though.
What kind of wounds?
Wait.
Just a bunch of cuts. They were about mid-thigh, either leg. Not that big.
That's unrelated.
How would you know?
Just, can we move on?
We need to explore every possibility, unless you have a reason why we shouldn't.
Because it's private.
I mean, She does have a point, though. We need to.
So what? He's a cutter?
What? Hiroaki!
No,
You can't
I'm
just
serious.
say that!
That's what you're getting at, right? He's a cutter. That's what they're from.
Dude. At least exercise some tact.
I feel like we should say. We already did the Marge Simpson joke.
Yeah.
But it's true again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then it's completely unrelated and we can move on. See how easy that was? Just say stuff. He's not even here to get mad at you.
Wait, so.
We already figured it out.
Well,
We have
Hiroaki,
zero
it's
reason
not
to
that
get
simple.
Yeah, really.
sidetracked by this. Hayashi, keep going.
Right. Well, since he had a bunch of stab wounds going through his shirt, I wanted to see if they went through the hoodies too. We untied him and took a look. Totally intact. No holes.
So they must have already been off his body when the killer started stabbing him.
Then he was already tied up?
Probably, yeah. That's what it looked like to me, at least. They tied him up before they started stabbing.
If they took his clothes off before they started attacking him, I'd say he was definitely unconscious. Or at least incapacitated. He would never have tolerated that.
Well, the weird part is, the bloodstains on the hoodie were kind of off. There was blood where I'd expect there to be blood, but there were a few smudges of blood, plus some prints. I don't know why they'd be handling the hoodie after they'd already killed him.
That's definitely weird. Yeah. It's not like they untied him, right?
Definitely not.
Wait, but if Kamimura was unconscious, then I still gotta know. How'd they get him up to the art room?
Is it possible that he was awake before they reached the art supply room? And only rendered unconscious after they arrived?
What could knock him out that
I'm
fast,
getting a
though?
thought.
Bump him.
I'm getting a thought. I'm getting a thought.
What is your thought?
Bubbles,
What?
remember how we had that nice feast? And remember how they ate a special version of the recipe for Kamimura because he has all those dietary restrictions? And remember how we still have some of that special Kamimura food in the fridge?
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that got drugged.
Oh. Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
They didn't bop him on the head. Hayashi already said there were no signs of blunt force trauma.
We're overthinking this. He passes out when his heart rate spikes. They probably just scared him. He was constantly on edge anyway. It wouldn't take much.
His room was a mess, though. There were definitely signs of a struggle. That makes me think he didn't go down all that easy.
I mean, yeah, but is that even possible? Like, could he struggle? He couldn't struggle that hard, right?
I mean, yeah. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. We've seen the kind of stuff that knocks him out. It doesn't take a lot. If he got in an actual honest-to-God fight with someone, I feel like he wouldn't be able to struggle all that hard.
Then, what if he didn't struggle? What if the killer faked the struggle to make us think he'd gone upstairs conscious?
A faked struggle would still have implied he went upstairs incapacitated. It would be strange for him to struggle and then go up willingly.
Well, yeah, but maybe the killer wanted us to think that they actually fought him and didn't just bop him on the head.
He wasn't bopped. We've established that.
Then maybe the way they knocked him out is important.
It's gotta be, if they wanted to cover
Am I
it up
right?
that badly.
If they
I think you might be onto something.
I just kept thinking about how they said that the only food left was the special food that they made just for Kamimura.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
They did just utilize his condition. I doubt they'd want to cover it up that badly.
It doesn't matter. His cataplectic episodes only last a couple of seconds. That wouldn't be nearly enough time to conceal him and bring him all the way upstairs, then tie him up. It has to be something else.
But then, what about a sedative?
A sedative? Like poison?
Yeah, something to make him fall asleep. Then they'd have enough time to get him upstairs.
Do we have anything like that?
I was in the med bay for like 2 days. I didn't see a single person come in and steal any sedatives.
Nor did I. But what about the chemistry lab?
The chem lab. That's...
I can definitely see that being the case.
Who investigated the chem lab, though?
I did.
I feel like letting you run around the chem lab is like a lab safety violation or something.
Maybe. But I did notice something while I was there. We were missing a few bottles.
Multiple.
Oh.
What exactly were we missing?
Okay, then.
Well,
That's not good. That is not good at all.
I think
I
I'm
know
right.
we were missing Flunitrazepam because I was keeping an eye on it.
Flunit. What?
Rohypnol.
Roof.
Oh, God.
They roofied him?
Yep.
Well, then.
We had roofies?
We did, but that seemed rather dangerous, so I was keeping an eye on them. When I investigated earlier, the bottle was gone.
At this point, what don't we have in this facility? We had Guton.
We've been trying so hard to keep all the dangerous items away, not letting anybody in the pool, not letting anybody in the wood shop, and yet people still end up getting their hands on fucking roofies. Because why the fuck not?
Yeah. Also, I hate to say, but Rohypnol isn't that hard to acquire, especially if you work in the chemistry or medical industry.
They roofied him?
Well, potentially, but we were also missing a bottle of something a bit more insidious.
Huh?
Cyanide.
Oh, joy.
Cyanide?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
that's like deadly.
We had cyanide?
Yeah, that's the
We did.
that's the appropriate response. And Ken knew?
Well, he was in the chemistry lab with.
Tell anyone that?
Kazutoshi said we should keep it a secret. If people knew we had it, they might try to use it,
And they totally did use it. I bet the guy was dead before they even brought him upstairs. All they'd have to do is poison him and haul him up.
He had to have been alive. You saw how much blood there was. Dead people don't bleed like that.
She has a point.
Oh, wait. So there's two possibilities here. Either he got roofied and then killed in the ill downstairs, or he just got straight up poisoned and died right there, and they still brought him downstairs and like messed up his corpse a bit.
Yeah. Although, I do have to say, cyanide isn't immediately fatal in some cases. Like, people associate it with, like, instant death if you have, like, a cyanide capsule. But it's also possible for cyanide capsules to expire. So you can end up with something that's, like, an inactive, but still, like, not very
What happens if you
helpful.
take cyanide but it's expired?
It makes you really sick, but it doesn't kill you immediately. I know this because there was an assassination attempt on Franz Ferdinand, like before the one that actually got him. The killer tried taking a cyanide capsule, but it was expired, so it just made him sick, and that let him be arrested.
Oh, okay
And-
then.
Yeah, that's actually what led to Franz Ferdinand's driver deciding to leave Sarajevo, and they went down the wrong street. And we all know what happened there.
I mean, there still would have been a ton of blood even if he was dead, right? They cut his damn head off. Your blood doesn't just disappear when you die.
Well, no, but if your heart stops beating, then the circulation is not going to allow you to bleed the same way you would if you were alive.
How will we know the difference if you bleed differently when you're dead?
When you puncture an artery, it literally squirts. That's how much pressure it's under.
I don't remember what they said the fucking blood looks like.
It's a giant splatter, trust me. You don't bleed like that with a dead body.
So you think he was alive then?
In some capacity, I'm sure of it.
Awesome.
I also fail to see why they'd remove his tongue if he was already dead.
There's that
I
too.
assume it was to keep him quiet.
That does seem to make sense, yeah.
So I was right about that. Oh, God.
Ah, yay!
So
Aren't we so glad we're right about these things?
I love being right.
So, they cut out his tongue so that he couldn't start screaming if he woke up early?
That makes sense.
Then yeah, he was probably still alive. Right?
We're just assuming that's why they cut his tongue out, though. Maybe they just wanted to fuck him up. I mean, they had no reason to cut his head off, right? Or cut his stomach open. Maybe they're just kinda sick.
I mean, they had no reason to kill him in the first place, but they did it. Also,
Maybe they were just really sick of the cold. I don't fucking know.
Also, chat, I know you're concerned. Trust me, I'm a writer. I have to know these things about dead bodies. I'm not a criminal, I promise.
Don't believe him. He has 50 dead bodies buried in his backyard.
You be silent.
He told me.
Oh, hey, Nix. Welcome. We're in the middle of a murder trial investigation.
And what a fucked up murder this is turning out to be.
Yep.
That's also true.
So maybe they just took his tongue as, like, a trophy or something? That would explain why we never found it.
Then.
Okay, so then we have to. Let's search everybody, and if anybody happens to have a tongue on them, they're the culprit.
Yeah. Ugh.
Already dead?
I don't see any other reason why we'd be missing something like cyanide. What concerns me more is the idea that someone aside from the killer is the one who took the rohypnol.
You can take roofies for a high though, right? So maybe...
Don't even finish that thought.
So maybe Hiroaki...
That's a really dumb idea.
Then the killer poisoned him and hauled his body upstairs, then staged the crime scene?
Finally! It was poison!
With cyanide?
Oh my goodness! She's so happy! Finally got it right! It only took me 3 tries, but I finally got it!
Vindication, at last. Von Babbitt, you did this on purpose, didn't you?
Totally!
You know, I think we've laughed a lot more at this chapter 3 than we have with any others.
Well, that's something.
It's something, at least.
Jesus!
I guess the blood makes sense if he had only just taken the poison not too long before. His heart wouldn't be beating anymore, but there'd still be a lot of blood.
It's not...
How did I even get him to eat it, though?
I took the cyanide.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh! He was
Yeah.
right. I forgot he was kind of trying to go to the farm.
Yeah. Oh.
Completely slipped my mind.
Ooh.
Kamigawa.
I took the cyanide. The killer couldn't have taken it because I had...
To clarify, he took it as in it was in his possession. He didn't actually swallow it. For anyone who missed it last time.
Thankfully, Takeshi showed up before he could.
Yeah.
No, boy, he wasn't trying to get high. He was trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Why did you have cyanide?
Because I was... Because I was going to kill myself. I took it down to my room, like, yesterday evening. So unless they got it before that, they took the roofies, not the cyanide. Just get back to debating already. Stop staring at me like that. I'm not going to be a fucking hypocrite like Hitomi was. I said we should all tell the truth, so I'm getting it over with and telling the truth. God!
Hey, it's okay.
Why did Sasaki have to catch a stray there?
I don't think he's over that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, we're back to our original he got roofied theory.
Yep.
Probably knocked him out with the rohypnol. When would they even have done it, though?
I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but could have been Tsuno? She saw him regularly in the medbay, so she would have had ample opportunity to...
You saw him regularly in the medbay too. So it could have just as easily been you. Plus, Hayashi was there for 2 days. That means it could have easily been any of you.
Excuse me?
I don't think it was you. I'm just making a point.
Hmm.
But
Okay, can I just say a theory? Like, this isn't me accusing him. I just have this on my mind now.
okay, hit me.
So we know Yanagi is a white knight.
Majorly, yes.
Yes, and he cares about women. Because,
Yes.
he's a good dude like that. I appreciate what he
Mhm.
does. And he's had his incidents, but he's overall a very solid person.
Correct.
That being said, we also saw how badly all of this was affecting both Suno and Mai. Like, Suno was trying her hardest to be the medic, and she was clearly breaking down from everything that was happening. And Mai was injured, but she also was so pressured by Tamba that she even when she was injured after the whole Monomoko situation, she still wanted to help everyone. What if the Rohypnol didn't play a role in this murder at all? What if he gave it to one of them so they would rest?
I thought you were about to accuse him of murder, and then you say that.
Yeah, I said I don't think he would do this, but I do think that he might go to some extremes to make sure one of them at least gets some sleep already. It's just a theory. I don't know if that's possible.
That's like the most aggressive care I've ever seen.
But he has been hiding something from Mai,
Yep, that is true.
and I don't know what else it could be other than I drugged you so you would stop potentially risking injuring yourself. It's just a theory.
That is true. Although even if that is true, it ultimately still has nothing to do with the case. So
yeah,
wouldn't do something like.
And Suno would.
Naga was right. That argument is getting annoying. You could have. Anyone could have.
Then maybe it was Hasagawa? Since he's always.
We already exonerated him. Please keep up with the rest of the group.
Hey! I'm trying! Jeez! There's just way too much to keep track of.
She is trying.
Well,
it's not
here's
her
an idea.
fault she's dumb.
Kamimura's leftovers have been sitting in the fridge for a couple days now, right?
Toshi's leftovers?
Oh, that's what I said.
Yep, there you
That's
go.
what I said. Wada's been so on the ball this trial.
Yeah, I mean his best friend died.
Him.
He would have to be.
Good for him.
That big dinner Hayashi made. She made him his own special food, right? Since he can't eat a lot of stuff. Everyone else knew not to touch it or eat it, since it was Kamimura's.
He definitely would have flipped out if someone else touched his food. He made that pretty clear.
Right. So if the killer knew nobody else was gonna eat it but Kamimura, maybe they just put the Rohypnol in that.
That definitely makes
God
sense.
damn it. We can't
went back
have
to his
one
room right
happy
after break-
thing. Remember how happy we were? How much we enjoyed that restaurant scene? How
That-
much fun it was.
Yeah, really. There was a lot of food in
Now
there
it's
I
been
actually
ruined
wanted to
forever.
try. There was a lot of food in there I wanted to try. Dang it.
Us too. That's the last time we saw him.
Then that makes complete sense.
It totally makes sense. He ate his breakfast, got roofied, and went back to his room to pass out.
Then all they need to do is go collect him.
But how? Wouldn't he have locked the door?
They could have picked the lock.
The locks are unpickable.
They had the key copy, remember?
Damn.
We
God
already know
damn.
that.
Then maybe they just broke it.
Yeah, no. Breaking the doors will get you in trouble. We know that now.
Unless your name is Watari.
Huh?
We are not starting this discussion again.
Watari's room is severely fire damaged, and yet Mai receives completely disproportionate punishment for kicking one door.
Miss Watari's damage was caused accidentally. It was unintentional. Miss Hayashi's damage was very much intended. That is the difference.
Fuck's sake, Shigeki, just let it go! I already told you I was fine!
Except that you're not fine. You've been acting off for days, and you were tortured just the other night. You can barely even walk around, and yet you insist that you're alright, and refuse to let me do anything to help or defend you!
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that's a common problem in this cast, Yanaga. You're just gonna have to get used to it.
Cause I don't
Nobody
need you
wants
to
to
help
be
me or defend
nobody
me.
wants to be helped. Everyone wants to do everything themselves.
It's a pride thing.
Yep.
And it really gets on my nerves at times.
Hell,
Like, if people
Yep.
want to help you, let them help you. It doesn't mean you're weak. Okay?
That's a lesson that I was really hoping that both of the victims of this case could have learned.
Yeah, I wish.
I need you to back the hell off!
But I don't understand why!
Because I can defend myself. I don't know why the hell you're suddenly trying to act all protective or whatever, but I don't need it.
Well, maybe I'm acting protective because you're acting completely irrational.
I'm not!
You are.
Why are we having a couples
used
fight
to
in the
be-
middle of the trial?
This, jeez.
Incredibly cautious. You used to think things through and avoid risks you didn't need to be taking. You were trying to stay alive. Now you're acting completely careless. You weren't being safe when you kicked down the door. You weren't being safe when we investigated the door trap. You weren't being thorough when we investigated the dorms. You're going to get yourself killed, and then what?
And then it'll be none of your fucking business, because you don't get to make decisions for me!
I'm not trying to make decisions for you. I'm trying to keep you alive.
I will say, I appreciate how much he cares about her. Genuinely.
He
Like,
does. He loves her very much.
like this is like genuine I love you kind of anger.
Yeah, he's just mad because he wants her to be safe.
And she feels so guilty about not being able to protect everyone, which is why it's happening at all. So I understand why they both feel this way.
It's one of those great arguments where you get both sides.
Yeah, for real.
I can keep myself alive! I don't need you to do that for me! I thought you understood that!
Jesus Christ, can you both just cram it? We're in the middle of a trial. What were we even talking about again?
The lock.
Right. The lock wasn't broken since that would get someone punished, and nobody got punished.
Then maybe he just opened the door.
He was unconscious.
Then whoever stole his key just used that?
He had already found his key. He wouldn't have been able to go back to his room without it. So
We just say the obvious answer already.
He used the 3D printed key.
If Kamimura
There
had
we
the
go.
blue
Thank
key,
you, Wada.
he'd know someone cloned his key, and he'd know someone had his key. He never would have gone back to his room if he knew someone else could get in, especially since they were clearly targeting him. Now, if you're all done being dumb, can we talk about the way more obvious answer?
We're not dumb.
The killer used the blue key to get in. Obviously.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. It only took us like
Half an hour.
5 minutes at least.
Half an hour to get here and 5 minutes to answer the question.
Yeah.
Does make sense, yeah.
So if the struggle was faked, and he was already unconscious when they got there to abduct him, when did they fake the struggle? Right there and then?
That wouldn't really have been too
Okay,
smart.
but here's my
I mean, what if-
question.
What's that?
Here's my question. So Kamimura's room was a mess because they faked a struggle.
Yes.
Wada's room was a mess because they were trying to frame him, right?
Yeah.
Why was Suno's room a mess?
We haven't gotten there yet. That's a lingering question
She
we still
wasn't
have.
even dead yet at that point in time.
Yeah.
Did someone just trash her room for kicks? She wasn't even involved in the case at that point.
My thinking was they trashed a bunch of rooms to like throw everyone off and make it seem like a lot of people could be responsible, but that's just my
Then
thought.
wouldn't they have tried a little harder to frame Suno? With Wada, they planted a whole saw in his room and gave Hasagawa that note. They didn't do anything for Suno. They just messed up his room. Messed up her room.
The only other thing I can think of, Suno's room being trashed has nothing to do with this. It's completely unrelated.
Do you think she could have trashed her own room?
She's been stressed out a lot lately, so maybe she just kind of had a major episode over it.
That is true. I could see that. Oh, Suno. You deserved so much better.
She really did.
Could have
They
woken up
both
at any
did.
moment. So they'd probably want to get him upstairs as fast as possible, just to be sure he didn't wake up while they were still in his room. That would have been bad for them, I think.
So they broke in, kidnapped him while he was unconscious, brought him upstairs, and killed him.
I'm still somewhat confused about the key.
Go on.
Well, Kamimura's key was missing, yes? We've established that.
Yeah?
But today is actually the first I'm hearing about it. What exactly happened?
Yesterday, when we were headed back to his room, he couldn't find it. He usually keeps it in his pocket, but it wasn't there. So he spent all day looking for it, and I helped out, but nothing. We couldn't find it.
He was pretty pissed about it.
But then he went back to his room after breakfast, right? So, when did he find the key?
The killer probably left it for him in the kitchen. They would have already been there anyway if they were poisoning his food. They left it somewhere they knew he'd spot it. Problem solved.
I still don't get how they cloned Kamimura's key at all.
Wait.
I mean...
Yeah?
And he would have just taken it?
I mean... Yeah.
I mean, when you can't find the key after you search the whole place looking for it, and then suddenly it just appears, wouldn't you think, maybe something's off about this? Especially since this is Kamimura we're talking about. That guy was not known for being trusting.
Not at all. But then again, they were searching through sub-zero temperatures. So I imagine he was just happy to have it back. I didn't think too hard about it, maybe.
Perhaps.
And I mean, come on. We've all had days where we lost something and then it just shows up and we're like, I don't even care. I found it. Whatever.
That's happened to me like at least once a month.
It's the worst.
I am very notorious for losing things.
Bless you. Wait, that was a cough, not a sneeze.
3D printer thing. It was broken, right? So even if they could steal his key, could they have printed a new one?
I mean, obviously they could, because they did.
Well, yeah, but how? Who fixed the printer?
That's actually a question I had, too.
Nobody's
Was
gonna
it
admit
still broken when Wada was working on it?
Cool.
I mean, it was broken, obviously, but if they printed a key, someone had to have fixed it at some point.
Well, I guess it was the killer. Mai says so.
So it was the killer then.
Ojima's pretty handy, right? I mean, he fixed Wada's computer, so couldn't he have fixed the printer?
I definitely didn't fix Masanari's computer.
Yeah, no, he didn't fix it at all. It's still super broken.
I honestly don't know anything about computers. At all. Especially fixing them.
What? Then who fixed the printer?
We should rule out the idea that it was Kamimura or Suno before we start jumping to conclusions.
It definitely wasn't Suno. She didn't know anything about computers.
It wasn't Kamimura either. I don't think he even knew we had a 3D printer.
I think it's safe to assume Kamimura didn't know anything about the blue key at all. If he had known his key had been copied, there's no way he would have been willing to go back to his room.
Wait,
Yep.
so if he lost the key and didn't find it again until this morning, where did he sleep last night?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
My bad.
And where did you sleep?
My bad.
There was only one bed, wasn't there?
There was only one bed, so they had to cuddle. So sad.
And
Dwarf,
neither
you
of us
know?
left the room during the night, so he's accounted for.
When did they even have the time to swipe the key? Because, I don't know, Hasegawa and Kamimura were, always together? When was he around someone else?
He visited the medical bay, but none of us took his key, I'm sure of it.
It was already missing by then anyway.
So then it had to be in the morning.
The only time we were all together in the morning was when Monomoko brought Hayashi back from the void.
The void?
That's right. We were all together for that.
I wasn't
We're all
there.
together.
So if that's when the key got swiped, it couldn't be Wada.
A lot of stuff points to it not being Wada.
Because it wasn't Wada.
We were all pretty distracted then, too.
I love how he refers to himself in the third person, just for that line. It wasn't Wada, he says, even though he is Wada.
So, it would have been really easy to swipe the key right out of his pocket if you knew what you were doing.
But do we have someone like that?
It's
do we have,
It's kind of devious to see that whole situation with Mai and then immediately decide, hey, this is the perfect opportunity to steal the key and kill Kamimura.
Yeah, you think you'd have more important things to worry about, like the fact that Mai is strung up and unconscious? I think that would be your top priority here.
You'd think so, huh?
But as we've established, this killer is clearly not right in the head.
Among other things.
We have a thief. I know that much.
It makes total sense why they swiped the key in the morning, though. I mean, they would have needed time to model and 3D print the new key, so stealing in the morning would have given them all day to do that.
And the printer's in the computer lab, right?
Right.
Then that's perfect.
You know what, Bubbles?
We just got.
I feel like that once we find out who the killer is, we are going to chew them out so hard.
Probably, yeah.
Figure out who was in the computer lab yesterday, and then we know who copied his key.
Except that nobody's gonna confess to it, right? Who was in the computer lab yesterday? Exactly!
That's fine. It just means we need to smoke them out. Everyone who's innocent should have an alibi for that time, right?
An alibi for what time? I'm completely losing the thread here.
Alright, follow me and keep up. Yesterday, when Hayashi got dropped off in the auditorium, the killer pickpocketed Kamimura's room key. They took it upstairs to the computer lab, modeled it on one of the computers, and printed it on the 3D printer, which they had fixed. While that's printing, they go to the chem lab and steal the bottle of Rohypnol. That night, they lace the food he had left in the fridge, leave his key there for him to find, and keep the blue key for themselves. At breakfast, Kamimura eats the poison, finds his key, heads back to his room, and passes out. The killer shows up, breaks into his room with the blue key, kidnaps him, brings him upstairs, ties him up, and kills him. Done.
Wait, but hold on. I have a question.
Please tell me you were listening.
I was, but if they were doing all that, when did they set the door trap?
What?
Right. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, a whole other murder that we've barely even talked about.
Yeah.
The door
Well,
trap.
glad we're getting
the one
to
that
it
killed
now.
Minami. When did they set it?
Thank you. Can we please talk about Suno?
Suno died after Kamimura. If we solve his murder, we live. If we solve her murder, we get nothing. Prioritize.
That doesn't mean... That doesn't mean...
Are you serious?
That doesn't mean that her murder still doesn't deserve to be solved. I'm pretty sure somebody said this during V3 too. They were like, why should we talk about Tenko's murder? It doesn't matter. And Himiko was so upset.
Yeah, but in that one, it was the same person.
She died. You're telling me to just get over it? Someone killed her.
We need to talk about Suno.
Yeah, seriously.
We need to talk about Suno.
All right, Wada. Tell us what happened.
Right.
Don't put him on the spot like that.
I'm on a way to investigate the wood shop, and when Suno opened the door, this big plate swung down with these wooden spikes on it, and it killed her.
It was a big square wooden plate with a couple wooden stakes on it. Caught her right in the stomach. The door opens outwards, so it swung down from the inside and got her as soon as she opened it.
It was definitely made using the supplies in the wood shop. I'm certain of that. There's nowhere else in the school to find those materials. The wood shop contains
should have had a
quite few of those
goddamn
large
guard
wooden
in the wood
plates,
shop.
as well as a few smaller pieces of wood.
Yeah, for real.
That could quite
Mai
easily
said,
be made
wood
into
shop's closed. No one's allowed to go down there. But we didn't lock the place or guard it or do anything. We just kind of let it sit there.
Yeah. And someone made a freaking trap out of it.
Without being noticed.
Stakes that were fixed to the plate. Not to mention, the trap was rigged above the woodshop door. It would have been exceedingly simple for them to build it in the woodshop and rig it right there. Otherwise, they would have had to carry it around, and it wasn't exactly light.
So then, when did they make it?
I mean, Kazutoshi and I were in the woodshop 2 nights ago, and it definitely wasn't there then. I'm sure we would have noticed.
Not even under a tarp or something. It wasn't under construction?
No, not above the door, not under a tarp, not anywhere. It wasn't there.
Hey, wait a minute! Why were you in the woodshop 2 nights ago? It was supposed to be
None
closed
of
off.
your damn business, Tamba.
Yeah, it matters. When we set rules as a group, you should follow them.
Shut up, Tamba.
What? Fine. Jeez.
If it wasn't there when you guys were there, that means it had to be set up yesterday. If it wasn't even under construction yet, they had to have made it during the day and rigged it up at night. That's the only way the timeline works out.
Perfect! Then it's time for my favorite part. We need to start attacking alibis.
What?
If the killer was building the plate yesterday,
You
they
have a
wouldn't
favorite
an alibi
part?
for that time.
I think he just really likes smoking people out with their alibis.
You know what? That's fair. Also, I kind of have to pee, so I'll be right back.
Okie doke. Yeah, so what are we thinking here? Do you guys have any guesses as to who it could be? Because I'm seeing you guys talking about how it could be Okazaki, and honestly, I'm leaning toward that possibility as well. But so much has happened with her that I genuinely don't know if it is her. I mean, I'm just thinking of like, I'm thinking of it from like, a meta perspective, but you never know what to expect with these kinds of games. They could go their own direction for all we know. I am kind of hoping that we are getting like a proper double like Blacken situation in this, just because I think that'd be really interesting. But with how this is being arranged, this is a very interesting situation. Like, for one thing, it's not just a case of the same person killing two people by their own hands. They set up a trap before the first murder. So that one was at least, planned for for someone. But this one, it's a lot more brutal. Well, I don't want any indications about who it could be, so don't like say you found it disappointing or anything. Like that's kind of a thing that bugs me, honestly, where people are like, "Oh, you're gonna be so disappointed," or "You're gonna love what happens." Oh, hang on. Say again.
Walker here. Am I coming in clear?
Yep. Welcome back.
Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. All right.
Shall we continue?
Right, so, yeah. Alibis.
Spoilers will be purged and ejected with void juice. Thank you for that. That's funny.
Awesome. Alibis. Let's focus. We got justice to do.
So we just need to find out who doesn't have an alibi from then to Kamimura's death. And we've got our killer.
The Kamimura's killer and Tsuno's killer might be two entirely different people. We don't know.
If that's the case, Tsuno's death doesn't matter, and we can just focus on
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Why are we talking about Tsuno at all, if the killers are two different people?
Why are you always like this? Every time you show a shred of decency, you back it up by being unreasonably cruel.
For fuck's sake, I'm not being cruel! I'm not being cruel, I'm not being heartless, and I'm not being cold, I'm not being any of this shit. I'm the only one who's actually thinking with any sort of logic here. I don't hate Tsuno. I'm not being cruel. I just want us to make it out of this alive.
You can at least phrase it in a way where you don't make it sound worse than it actually is. Like, we don't need to talk about what happened to Tsuno right now. Like, that would be at least a bit more tactful.
Yeah, get some tact here, Aki. God.
You don't need to say, like, her death was, like, irrelevant or whatever. Like, I get it. Like, Kamimura's death is the priority here. It should be. But you don't need to act like what happened to Tsuno is completely irrelevant and that we should just completely dissociate from it.
Yeah, you guys made this. Well, not these guys specifically, but they made the same mistake in V3, and Tenko's death turned out to be vital to solving the case.
Exactly. Also, it just makes people less likely to want to hear you out if you act like a colossal jerk.
Real.
If the killers are the same person, we need to talk about Suno. And if they're not, we don't!
Then let's figure that part out next. If there are two killers, we need to know.
It has to be the
Okay,
same
moment
person,
of truth, people.
Says who? I totally think it's two people.
Are you dense? It's clearly the same person.
Actually, shockingly, I agree with Tamba. It makes more sense for there to be two killers.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards two separate killers myself, honestly.
Yeah, because like obviously they set up the trap for anyone to come in and get hit by, right?
Yeah,
But
could
why
have been
would-
anybody through that trap.
Yeah, but I was saying with chat too,
It
like
wasn't targeted. It wasn't targeted like Kamimura's was.
yeah, I was just saying to chat too, like why would this happen if like why would they set up the trap and go through all that trouble just to go out of their way and kill Kamimura directly?
Maybe they didn't want people investigating the wood shop?
But why though? Like what's in the wood shop that they didn't find anything in the wood shop?
I
mean-
don't know. I'm just
I mean-
spitballing.
Yeah, but I mean they didn't have time
Well-
to search the wood shop at least. So there's that.
Yeah, this seems like a lot for just one person to do.
Yeah, really.
Same.
It's one.
It seems as though we're somewhat divided on the issue.
It has to be one.
Split
What the hell are
opinions,
the odds
split
that two
opinions,
people would decide to kill someone on
The classic.
the same day?
Coincidences happen. Circumstances being unlikely doesn't make them impossible.
But if there were two killers, why would the second killer rig a trap above the woodshop door? It wouldn't make any sense. Nobody goes in there. The trap could be there forever without anyone running into it.
Unless Hasagawa said it. Since he knew that he and Kamimura.
We already exonerated Hasagawa a million times.
It would make way more sense for it to be one killer. They kill Kamimura with the stuff from the woodshop, so that we'll have to go investigate the woodshop. Then, when we do, and someone dies, it makes us not want to investigate any further, because any room could be trapped. It's a good plan,
he's
but
got
it
a
doesn't
point.
make any sense if there are two different killers.
The killer couldn't have known for certain we would investigate the woodshop, though.
Maybe not, but they certainly could have guided us in that direction. Like Hama said, using tools from the woodshop in Kamimura's murder made us investigate the woodshop, did it not? And when we found the trap,
Did make us
we
investigate the
immediately
wood
stopped
shop.
investigating any new rooms.
Yeah.
That's honestly kind of genius.
Don't give them so much credit. They're gonna get caught, so they can't be that fucking smart.
Hold on. The two murder methods are completely different, though.
I wish
Two
someone had
totally
said
different.
this. I wish someone had said this during the bad one.
Yeah, that would have really made it a little bit more bearable. But yeah,
Anyway,
like
so it sounds like there's only one killer here.
but I mean Watery's also making a great point too. Like why do this?
I don't know,
Victims with
probably for
no
some
connection
stupid
between
reason.
them. Two totally different methods with no connection between them and no evidence connecting either one.
There is evidence connecting them, though. The woodshop tools. Obviously, Kamimura's death is connected to the woodshop. Suno died in the woodshop. There's your connection.
But how would they have had time to clone the key and set up the whole trap and drug Kamimura all in one day?
That's only like 3 things.
Plus, you can leave the 3D printer unattended while it's still printing.
The trap wasn't exactly some Machiavellian level shit. They would have had time. It was a spike plate, not a rocket engine.
It does kind of make sense.
Okay,
I'm
Bubbles.
convinced.
They've got
So now we've established it's definitely the same person who killed both victims. What do you think of that?
That's disappointing, but whatever, I'll roll with it. At least it's better than most other things we've seen. It isn't someone going out of their way to kill 2 different people by their own hands, which I've always thought was really stupid and made no sense in this situation, but in this case it actually kind of does make sense. So, there's that.
to be the same person. There's no way around it.
Then can we please get back to Alibi?
But they're saying this so much, I'm honestly kind of convinced that maybe it wasn't just one person. But we'll see.
Yeah, well.
We need to figure out who it actually could have been.
But you're
Time
demanding
to
that everyone
find
have
our
an alibi
killer! Ooh, someone's gonna pay for this one.
for 2 days straight. Nobody's gonna have that airtight of an alibi. It isn't possible.
Why are you so opposed to going after people's alibis?
I'm not. but the way you want to go about it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so what about your alibi then? Let's start with you. Where were you?
I spent almost all of yesterday in the medical bay with Suno and Mai.
And last night?
You don't have an alibi either.
Yes, I do! I was with Takeshi all night!
Of course he would claim that. You two are extremely close. That doesn't mean anything.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh my
I already
God.
told everyone exactly what I was doing last night. I already told you exactly where I was. Hayashi has the evidence to back it. You won't say shit about where you were. You have no alibi.
Please, Yanagi, tell us where you were. It's kind of driving me crazy. What happened, man?
Yeah,
What
where
happened?
were you? You have to tell us. You can't keep not telling us things in trials.
Just because my alibi isn't 2 days long doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I could have done anything yesterday because I was in the medbay the whole time.
Shocker! Yanagi Shigeki throwing another investigation. Who could have guessed?
At least I'm actually making an effort instead of floating around the school uselessly for the entire investigation period, just tacking myself onto whatever other groups I
Okay,
find
now
on the
we're
way.
fighting again.
He's so mad his mic is peaking.
That poor Mike.
His voice actor does a great job, though.
Yeah,
He
I
was
really like that.
exactly where
His
he
voice
said
actor.
he was. What are you getting at? I was with him last night. He has an alibi. You have no right to be accusing him when you still haven't said where you were last night.
But I do have an alibi.
I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Yanagi, where were you? And if you don't tell me the truth right now, this one time, you've lost all my trust.
Ooh.
Damn.
I was on the second floor.
What?
I was on the second floor, trying to get into the locked room.
What?
What?
I wasn't damaging the door.
The
I was
same
just trying to
locked
pick the
room?
lock.
He was trying to pick the lock.
Surely that
Same
wouldn't have...
locked room that Mai was trying to get into and got taken away and to be tortured for? That locked room?
I think it's the very same.
Yanagi.
Dude.
Yanagi, you beautiful dumbass.
counted as damage to school property.
You're kidding.
I wanted to get open so you can stop acting like this. Ever since your argument with Tamba, you've been taking far too many risks, and you've been hurt. And I'm worried about you. I wanted to get the door open so you can stop concerning yourself with it and just focus on staying alive like you did before.
So
That's where I
Bubbles?
was.
You were kind of right. Of course, you weren't right about the whole
Yeah.
hugging people thing, but
Yeah, so I'm glad he
you were
didn't do
right
that.
about his attitude.
Yeah. I was halfway right, so there's that.
That's like with the switch theory.
Ugh.
Spent my night upstairs trying to open the door. I failed, for the record, but that's where I was. That's my alibi.
Here's the deal. Nobody needs to have an airtight alibi for both days, as long as they have an alibi for some of it. If the killer is one person, they just have to have an alibi for some of the time that they supposedly spent prepping the murder. So we just need to find someone with no alibi. And if we don't have that, we need to attack the weakest alibi.
So when do we need to have an alibi for?
You need an alibi for yesterday, an alibi for last night, or an alibi for this morning.
Then I'm cleared.
Yeah, like, you don't need an alibi for everything. You just need an alibi for the amount of time it would take to set all this up.
That is true. So
I was in the med bay the
so
entire
like for
time.
instance, Mai was clearly in the med bay recovering from being tortured. So it's not
Exactly.
her.
Yeah, it couldn't be.
Didn't leave once until the investigation started.
I can vouch for that.
But you left during the night, Shigeki. You can't vouch for the fact that she was there then.
I can. I stopped by the medbay in the middle of the night. Hayashi was there.
What were you doing in the med bay in the middle of the night?
Visiting old friends. Don't worry about it.
Then let's tackle you next.
Hama.
Where were you for the rest of the day?
I mean, yesterday, I was mostly just watching Watari practice in her room. I've got supreme control over all forms of fire, so she had me there as a safety precaution.
She had him there because she burned down her room. That's what he means.
Of course.
Which is why my room only partially burnt up.
Exactly.
Partially.
It only burned a little bit. It was lightly burned.
You're welcome.
What about in the morning?
I was hanging out with Watari then too, right after breakfast.
Oh.
We were both in the kitchen when the body discovery announcement went off. Nobody else was there.
Shigeki, where were
That's
you in the
true.
morning?
That's true,
was
Sparkles.
sleeping,
I'm glad
unfortunately.
that I'm really
briefly
glad
attended breakfast, but
I'm really glad that Hama and Watery ended up becoming friends in the wake of all the chapter 2 nonsense.
Yeah, same. They really needed it.
They did.
I went back to bed after that.
He was definitely sleeping when I came to get him. Shirtless, by the way.
That's completely irrelevant to the case. You truly just say whatever you want.
I mean, I was with Kamigawa all night. We've already established that. But I spent most of yesterday with Masanari. I was trying to fix his PC.
Yeah, I can back that up.
This morning, though, I was with Kamigawa again.
I was in my room, so I don't really have an alibi, but I was already exonerated since the body discovery announcement played for me.
Same.
I spent most of yesterday on my own, but I did briefly spend some time tending to staff duties with Nishina.
Yep, can confirm.
I spend most of my time patrolling the hall, since I'm the hall overlord. Unfortunately, that leaves me alone a lot of the time, but I do have an alibi for this morning. That means I'm safe, right?
Depends. What's the alibi?
I was patrolling the halls.
Okay, but see, like, that's not an alibi.
I can prove it, though. I saw Hasegawa go up to the library about 20 minutes after breakfast. I saw Watari go into Hama's room and knock on his door. Then I saw the two of them go to the dining room, and 10 minutes after that, Hama and Wada walked down to the West Wing bathrooms. Then Hama walked Wada back to his room and went back to the dining room. Plus, I saw Suna go from the med bay to the storage room about 30 minutes after breakfast. Then head back to the med bay. That all happened, right?
I'll give Okazaki this. It's very thorough.
Yep, she seems pretty clear if she knew all that.
If I saw it, that's proof I was in the hall, isn't it?
Definitely.
Did that all happen?
I can back the Suno part.
She got my part right too.
It's the same.
Then my alibi works.
It also helps back up Watari's alibi.
Yep. I was with Okazaki and Hama yesterday. Then I was with Hama in the morning. Last night, though, I was sleeping. I don't know how you guys spend all night running around like that. I was tired.
So then it's just...
Mood.
Tamba?
Tamba? Tamba!
This
Tamba.
looks kind of bad for me.
Then start talking.
I swear I
Okay,
didn't do
Ken
anything.
sounded dangerous there.
Yeah.
I don't have an alibi.
That
sure,
line
but
delivery
that's
was...
because I was in my
Ugh.
room all day. I was just trying to stay warm. I left for a bit yesterday and in the morning too, to get a pan from the kitchen.
Girl.
I was heating them up to keep with me in my room. It was to keep myself warm. I didn't do anything crazy like decapitate someone or rig up a spike trap or whatever.
And yet you're the only one with no alibi.
But it wasn't me.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if she's smart enough to have done all this, but we've learned our lesson in deciding someone can't have done anything because we think they're too dumb.
Yeah, thanks to spare time.
I just didn't want to leave my room.
Jeez, do you think it was Tamba?
Certainly not so bold
Oh.
without Hayashi backing you.
I don't know. It's not looking good for her, I'll say that.
That is scaring me. Why is he scaring me?
Please, hold on a second. Kazutoshi and Princess Tamba didn't always get along, but I highly doubted something she would kill him over.
Except that she had a motive this time.
What?
You said it yourself, right? She got in a big fight with Hayashi. Hayashi doesn't have her back anymore. Now she needs to actually fend for herself for once.
Ken?
So she went
Ken,
for
you're
an
getting a
easy
little
kill to
argumentative
get herself
there.
Out of here.
I didn't. I swear I didn't. You've got it all wrong. I wouldn't. I didn't.
But we found the kitchen utensils in her room. Her story has evidence. We found the pots and pans she claimed to have been heating up. Surely that adds some credit to her story.
I couldn't even have
I mean, there's that too.
How
Okay, maybe
did
it's
they
not
get the spike plate
Tambover.
above the door?
That's actually a pretty
Maybe.
good question.
The woodshop's right across from the second incinerator room. They've got a couple ladders in there. The big one, plus a smaller one that would fit a whole lot better in the woodshop. All they need to do is run across the hall and grab a ladder.
Well, yeah, that'd get them above the door, but the plate's still heavy, right? How'd they lift it?
Tomba's an athlete, though, right? Why are we so quick to write off the idea that she could have lifted it?
I mean, she's not that kind of athlete.
Jules, don't you know that being an athlete means you can do anything?
Like, excuse me, like how being a scientist means you excel in every scientific field.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how a botanist can turn someone into a cyborg.
They sure can. If they
She
try
works
hard
out, like,
enough.
every day.
But I don't
But
think.
it's still almost the size of me. There's
I know things are looking bad for Tomba right now, but at the risk of pissing off Hiroaki by saying this, I don't think she would do this.
Yeah,
She
like,
and Kamimura were frenemies. They weren't enemies.
yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. It's,
But then again, I don't know who would have done this.
yeah. Like, we all were quick to say Okazaki, but like, Okazaki has an
That's
alibi.
too obvious. She has an alibi, plus it's too obvious.
Yeah.
no way I could rig up a trap that heavy and that big while standing on the ladder.
I mean, there's ropes in the woodshop too, right? Like those ropes holding the pallets down? Couldn't they just take one of those ropes and heave the plate up?
Not a bad idea. Could have strung it through the ceiling beams.
Exactly. They tie one end to the plate, loop it over the beam, then heave it up. He wouldn't even need to be that strong. It's not like it was crazy heavy, just pretty heavy.
Work smarter, not harder, as they say.
Yep.
They could heave it up, tie the other end of the rope down to the shelf or table or something, and then the plate would just be suspended in place. They could just rig it up while it's hanging there.
Okay, speaking of rigging it up, how does the trap even work? Did we figure that out?
I went back and forth on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's not that complicated. They fitted the plate to an axle and hooked it up above the door. The axle was on this little wooden bit. Fuck, it would be so much easier to just show you. It was on this little wooden bit that let it turn. Like an axle.
I'm vaguely following.
Then, it was also hooked up to this little piece of rope that was connected to the actual door. So when you opened the door, it would rotate the axle a bit, and the plate's weight would do the rest. The axle would tip it forward, and the plate would swing forward with its full weight behind it.
Which is exactly what happened when we opened the door.
And I definitely saw the rope connecting the door to the axle. I can confirm that without a doubt.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following this so far. Yesterday, while we're freaking out about Hayashi, the killer steals Kamimura's room key. They model it, clone it, and while the thing's printing, they get to work on the spike plate. During the night, they poison Kamimura's food and rig up the trap. In the morning, he eats breakfast, passes out, gets kidnapped and dragged upstairs. Then they kill him.
Okay, something else that's not really looking good for Tomba, and I may be overanalyzing here, but it's still worth noting,
What's
I think.
that?
She's the one who's always insistent about how the 3D printer was broken.
She was pretty insistent about that, wasn't she?
Yeah. I'm not saying it was her, I'm just saying, like, when you say that, when you bring so much attention
Tomba.
to it, it's a little suspicious.
Just a little bit. Oh.
We all investigate. Suno
But I
gets killed
liked
by the trap,
Tomba.
and here we are. Does that check out?
You liked all these characters.
I know! Now you see my pain. Now
Yeah.
you see my pain.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
That doesn't really sound right at all, though.
What?
I still have a lot of questions that we haven't really taken the time to come back to. Like, how did Kamimura even get up to the art room without being spotted? How did the killer get the saw and the knife to the art room without being spotted? We found the body not long after Kamimura died. How come the killer didn't have any blood on them? How'd they get the tools down to Wada's room so fast? They weren't spotted doing that either, right? And why was Kamimura's room such a mess if there wasn't even a struggle?
I'm more curious about why there were signs of a struggle in Tsuno's room.
What?
That's what
Holy
I was
shit,
asking.
I totally forgot about that. Good question. The place was trashed.
Why?
We have no idea. It had been completely ravaged.
Suno didn't go back to her room after leaving in the morning, though, right? She went to breakfast, then she went to the medbay. So how could her room have been trashed? Was it trashed yesterday?
Definitely not. She would have mentioned something like that, right? If someone had gone in and trashed her room, I doubt she would have been comfortable sleeping there.
How would someone have even gotten into her room to begin with, though? Was there another key we didn't know about?
I don't think Manami's key was ever missing, though, was it?
She slept in her own room last night, as far as I know. She had to have had it then.
So, what? She trashed her own room? Why?
I really can't see her doing that.
Sorry if this is off topic, but could it be related to Ken's note?
What do you mean?
Well, we can't figure out when that note got planted, right? Since it wasn't there when you woke up.
That's what I was.
And we
that's
can't
what
figure
I was
out.
thinking. It's like the killer, when the investigation period, the killer could have used the opportunity with all the doors locked to plant the note in Ken's room, go mess up Wada's room and plant the saw there, and then I don't know, mess up Suno's room for kicks. I guess I don't have an answer for that, but you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and that's what I was thinking too. Like, make it look like, so many people could have been responsible for this, and hers.
We didn't see Tamba the entire investigation.
Yeah,
we barely saw Okazaki too.
I was actually kind of convinced if there was going to be a second killing, it was going to be her, but it was Suno.
Tamba?
Yeah, because she was gone so long, like we didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
When the saw got planted in
listened to
Masanari's
Hama.
room. Plus, we can't figure out when Kazutoshi's room got trashed either. The killer would have needed access to all 4 rooms, right? But we only found 1 key.
So how'd they do it?
Well, I mean, what if they did it during the investigation? All the rooms would have been unlocked, right? So they could have gone in and trashed the place.
But before we even got there?
No, hold on. This makes sense. They had the key to Kamimura's room, so they could have easily started with his room while the other rooms were still locked. The body wouldn't have even had to have been discovered yet, so they kill Kamimura, run down to his room, and destroy the place. Then the body gets discovered. They come meet up with the rest of us, and since everyone knew Yanagi and Hayashi would be handling the basement floor and starting in the medbay, they knew they had some time to hit the dorms.
Then all they would need to do is trash Suno's room and plunder evidence before Yanagi and Hayashi caught up to them.
We started with the men's dorms as well. They could easily have still been in Suno's room as we began investigating.
That's the only period of time that makes sense. It's the only time all doors are unlocked and the only time they could plant evidence without the owners of the room seeing it.
So then we should be looking at the people who investigated the dorms?
That's Yanagi and Mai.
was already exonerated.
Yanagi's not.
What? Why are you accusing me?
I don't know, because it makes perfect sense. You weren't there when we all gathered at the art supply room, right? So when the killer was supposed to be trashing Kamimura's room, you were totally unaccounted for. When I came to get you, you were shirtless.
I thought we were accusing Tamba. Why are we accusing Yanagi now? I'm lost.
I think Hiroaki is just bitter.
Also, once this trial is over, I think we should go back and we should clean those rooms up and make them look all nice and clean again.
Yeah, really?
That would be best.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I think Kamimura's ghost is going to haunt us.
Probably, yeah.
Killer not being covered in blood thing. You just changed clothes.
I was shirtless because I was sleeping.
You were sleeping shirtless when it was that cold. I don't know if I believe that.
I'm not bothered by cold.
But that was really cold, man.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
I just wasn't wearing a shirt. I never wear a shirt to bed.
More like you knew the cold was turning off. You'd already killed someone, so it was bound to turn off. You knew you'd be fine.
But how
would, knowing the code would turn off, prevent me from being cold in the moment. But by your own logic, I still should have had a shirt on.
Except that I don't think the reason you ditched the shirt was because you knew about the cold mode of ending. That's just some backup ammo. You had no shirt on because your clothes were drenched in blood.
I have an alibi, though. You already know where I was last night.
No, we don't. We know what you told us, but we don't actually have anything to back that claim up with.
Plus, I mean, you had a motive, right? You already said you were trying
Okay,
to
that's
protect
dumb.
Hayashi.
No, Watery, you're forgetting one important thing. Let's say Yanagi did it, and he did it to protect Mai. If he got away with it, Mai would die along with the rest of us.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Tomba was missing the entire investigation. We didn't see her once.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her. I don't think it was Yanagi.
Definitely not Yanagi. He wouldn't. If he had committed murder to protect Mai, he would have fessed up to it by now.
Absolutely. I believe it.
You said you were trying to keep her safe. So
you killed Kamimura and Suno to end the motive for Hayashi, to make her less desperate to escape.
And then, what? Chickened out at the last second? If he was trying to protect Hayashi, why are we even doing a trial? He changed his mind.
I didn't do anything, though. There's nothing to change my mind about.
Yeah, hold on. There's no way. I was with him for the entire investigation. I would have seen him do this shit. He did.
Yeah, they were together the whole time. She was hounding him the entire time about where he was, and he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, he's definitely in the clear. So is she, for that matter.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have each other's alibis pretty solidly backed up, I think.
Oh, that's true though. Okazaki was gone for most of the investigation too.
We saw her one time.
One time.
She got stabbed.
Yeah, that was the only time.
But we didn't see Tomba even once.
Yeah, that's a bit more suspicious, at least to us.
Yeah, at least Okazaki put in one appearance.
If the theory flies, he's doing this for you, right? So of course you'd have a reason to cover for him.
Like hell, I wouldn't let everyone else die just so I could escape.
Either way, I wouldn't have been able to rig up the plate one-handed. There's no way I could have done that.
Oh yeah, there's that too. He's still injured.
Yeah, somebody needs to fix his hand. Why have we not fixed his hand yet?
Because our medic is dead.
Oop.
Your hand still doesn't work? Jeez, isn't it healing yet?
He can't move his...
It's been a couple days, Watery. Hand injuries.
Been a couple weeks.
Hand injuries can take months to heal properly, and even then, they may not.
He got his hand injured week 1. It's week 3 now.
Yeah, and sometimes they may not heal fully. You may never gain full control back. It takes a lot of physical therapy. That's the whole problem.
We don't have.
Yeah, so, like, how on earth could he have done all this with one hand? Like, I'm sure Yanagi's strong. He's not that strong, is the thing. And,
I mean, once I saw a guy win Hell's Kitchen with one hand.
Well, yeah, but that's not a strength exercise. That's a cooking exercise.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm like, people can do a lot of crazy things with one hand. It's really impressive. I'm just saying, like Yanagi doesn't have the motivation or the physical capabilities to pull all this off in the time frame that they're discussing. It just doesn't seem plausible to me. And as you said, why would he do all this if it would put Mai's life in danger? It doesn't make any sense for him to try and do that, especially when he'd spent so long trying to protect her. Like,
exactly.
It's just, I don't think it's him. It can't be him. I'm certain of it.
It cannot be him.
He wouldn't have been able to rig up the plate, and I doubt he would have been able to carry Toshi upstairs either.
Carrying Kamimura upstairs one-handed doesn't seem like that much of a challenge, but I guess I can see what you mean about the plate. That does seem a bit far-fetched.
Then perhaps it was Hayashi.
What?
She would have zero problems rigging the plate, right? And she also knows how the plate works. I can't really see Hayashi covering for Yanagi, but I can certainly see Yanagi covering for Hayashi. He has a track record, after all.
Except I was in the med bay for 2 days straight. Anyone can back that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Hayashi's name is already clear, honestly.
I certainly didn't see her do anything during the investigation that would lead me to suspect her.
Then I mean, what about Hidowaki?
Excuse
Oh,
me?
good lord.
You went down to wake up Yanagi, right? You were alone in the
It's
unlocked
not
dorm hall during
Hiroaki.
that
We already
time.
discussed his
You could've
alibi.
done
Move
something.
along.
Nobody would know, since nobody else was coming down to the basement anyway.
You also investigated alone.
So did you? You and Tama both investigated alone. Tons of people were alone. I went off alone. You went off alone. Tama went off alone. Wada went off alone. Hasegawa went off alone. Watari went off alone. That means nothing. Plus, I never even saw Kamimura's trash room. Only Hayashi and Yanagi saw it. You should be looking at them.
We already did, though.
They probably worked together to fuck up the entire investigation. They've been working together this
come
entire
on.
time. No wonder they...
You an idiot? How would I have written Hasegawa's note? I'm the one telling everybody it's fake. Why would I talk about how fake it is if I wanted everyone to believe it?
Besides, as we've repeated, she was in the med bay.
It doesn't matter. My alibi is completely ironclad, so you've got nothing to accuse me with either way.
Except you and Ojima could be covering for each other just as well as myself and Mai.
What could we possibly gain from that? Only one person gets to escape. With you and Mai, at least it's obvious who that would be. But I'm not dying just so Nakamigawa can go home.
Damn right, because that would be stupid. I'm not dying for Takeshi.
What are you saying about me?
That you're blind and stupid, and you die for any girl in
Okay.
this building because you're a giant doormat.
Okay, this is turning into just airing out all our
Or
petty
fighting.
grievances.
Or fighting. Can we please stick to things that are relevant to the case?
Please.
At least he's actually making claims with merit behind them. You've just been accusing whoever the hell you want for this entire trial. Do you even listen to yourself?
Shut up!
Whoa.
You just keep talking about stupid shit that has nothing to do with the case! How many times have we gone around in circles already? How many times have we talked about the same thing when we still have questions we haven't answered yet? I don't care about the note. I don't care about the dorms. We've already figured that out. That's not getting us any closer to the killer. Can we please just talk about how the hell they got him upstairs in the first place?
Bubbles.
Yeah.
That sounded like something Kamimura would say.
Yeah, really.
Could they have just wrapped him up in something? Or covered him? Like with a tarp from the art room, or with a sheet?
Nobody saw anyone carrying something like that around, though. Hanano was patrolling the hallway and she didn't see anything.
Nope, not a thing.
They moved the saw too. How was the killer moving so many things around without getting spotted carrying any of it?
They had to have had a way of concealing stuff like that in plain sight.
How though?
Oh my god.
But
The only person I can think of who had, like, something they could carry things around in. Remember how Tomba said she was, like, wrapping herself up in a blanket and putting hot pans in there so she'd stay warm?
you think she put him in the blanket?
It's at least plausible, in my mind.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I'm not sure what you're looking at me for.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen you hide an entire person in your coat.
Oh, wait a minute.
There's that,
Bubbles.
too. Yeah.
Had that whole Watery's a ghost routine, and Watery could fit in Okazaki's coat, and she's a lot bigger than Kamimura.
That's true.
Ooh, can't believe we got it down to 2 major suspects.
Yeah.
Can't honestly be serious.
Watari's a lot bigger than Kamimura too.
That's what you just said.
I know, I'm so in sync with this game.
Definitely could have hidden him in there.
Do you genuinely not understand how stupid this sounds?
You knock him out, slip him into your coat, carry him upstairs, nobody sees a thing.
Also, calling something stupid is not a defense.
Ask Leon how that worked out for him.
Exactly.
Could have done the same with the saw, too.
But I was patrolling. I've already proven that. I'm accounted for.
I mean, are you though?
You said yourself that I correctly assessed what you were doing this morning.
Yeah, but we kind of already talked about those things, didn't we? Or at the very least, we kinda gave you enough to work with. You patrol every day, right? You probably know people's schedules well enough to fill in the blanks by now.
Okazaki knew about the 3D printed seal. I told her about it a couple days ago.
That doesn't mean I know anything about it. I just knew we had one and that it was broken.
I mean, if anyone in here was going to decapitate and mutilate someone...
Except that I've never expressed any sort of desire to hurt Kamimura or Suno.
Whoa, hold on. Not true.
Yeah, definitely not true.
And even then, the Suno one was more of an accident.
Yeah, it could have been anybody in that spike trap.
Really? But Kamimura?
You in that spike trap.
Yeah, but if,
Kamimura was deliberate.
Absolutely.
You and Minami got into a huge fight just a few days ago.
There's also
I was
that.
There.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
That is true.
And you've got a track record. Wada's ribs are proof enough of that.
But would she really have killed Suno over something that petty?
I mean, if she killed Suno strictly for personal reasons, it would kinda make sense why Suno's room was totally trashed. Maybe Okazaki just hated her.
If she needed a sacrifice to scare us off investigating with the traps in place, it makes sense that she would pick someone she hates.
I mean, you're all acting as if she targeted Suno with a trap she had no actual control over. She just set it up and it could hit anyone.
Yeah, but that's not important right now.
Yeah.
Is it really Okazaki? Because from the beginning, I've kept saying I know that it makes sense that it would be Okazaki, but she's too obvious. She's so Chapter 3 coded. But I don't know. It's kind of looking that way. It's either her or Tamba, and Tamba doesn't have any big coats that she can hide people in.
Yeah. The blanket was the only thing I could see as an explanation, but I don't know. It's not looking good for either of them, but mostly for Okazaki.
Yeah.
And if she hates Suno, it makes sense that she would trash her room when given the opportunity.
But I've been helping for the entire investigation and a trial.
Also, if you guys hear
Why would I help you
noises,
convict me?
if you guys hear noises, they're installing a new washer right now.
Yeah.
Right outside my door. So pay no attention to that. I wish we had some music, then we could cover it up. But
Yeah.
we don't. We all have to sit here in the silence.
Fully in the investigation. I willingly offered up information about the chemistry lab.
Hey, here's a question. Why the hell were you investigating the computer lab? That was after Suno died, right? So we'd all agreed to not go into any new rooms? Why were you going against that?
Because it was clearly safe to investigate. Wada was already in there. None of these arguments hold any water. My alibi is still perfectly viable. This doesn't make any sense as an accusation.
Can you open your coat then?
Oh?
Sorry?
Your coat. Can you open it?
I'd rather not. It's still
I
fairly
think you
cold.
should. I think you should
Hello?
open your coat.
Open your coat.
Jesus!
Oh, God.
Okay.
There's the
There's
blood.
blood. That's blood. Okay. So I think we know who the killer is now.
Yeah.
He got stabbed!
Once, and it wasn't even that deep. You're completely covered in blood.
I'm not!
You are!
Hannah, no! Why are you covered in blood? What?
Bubbles.
Right, my period. I didn't kill anyone.
Jesus.
I'm sorry,
You know
I had
what,
to.
Bubbles? Okay, well, I'm glad you did, but this whole time I was saying it can't be Okazaki. Okazaki's too obvious, but you know what? I think I was just trying to fool myself.
Probably.
I think deep down, I knew no one else would do this. Some
Yeah.
of them are too nice. Some of them are too sensible. Sometimes some of them are too close to the victims. Some of them are afraid of blood. No one else would do this other than Okazaki.
Yeah, it's the only explanation,
Oh.
really.
And now we've found her. We've got indisputable proof. Oh, Okazaki? What you got to say for yourself? Huh? What you got to say? Let's hear it.
I didn't.
Let's hear it. What you gotta say? What you gotta say, huh?
What the hell?
Con.
What?
I don't like this.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
What is she
Okay,
even?
whatever. What you gotta...
Cassette player?
Cassette player?
My. Look at you. All your neurons firing today, I guess. You finally
What
picked
is
up on this I've been laying down for
going
hours now.
What the hell? Who are you?
Well, I shouldn't be surprised. Abandoned. Tim.
What is happening? What is going on? Why is she taking up the whole screen? Why is there music? I just said I wanted music. What is happening? I feel like am I high? Are you high? Is she high? Is nobody fucking high? Well, okay. Well, now we know what she looks like without her mask, so there's that.
Yep. This is like the complete emotional opposite of where you were in chapter 2.
What is she doing?
I have no idea. I'm kind of in shock right now.
What is happening?
Well, let's continue.
Okay, sure. Let's continue the drug trip. Pass the weed.
Well, I shouldn't be surprised. Abandoned Timwits, this easy to kill, was bound to have some problems figuring things out without a little boost. No pun intended, of course. Con.
Is she fucking losing it?
Now, no need to get upset. Allow me to dumb things down for you, Oni boy. You're standing in the presence of insurmountable greatness.
Hanano!
The fox is called to a midnight moon. The streak of white in a starless, desolate sky. The phantom thief of Nagoya.
Phantom...
What?
Are you sad? Not what you expected, right? Your first time meeting a true and honest supervillain, is it? I can understand why you'd be intimidated.
Okazaki, what the actual hell are you talking about?
It's just like
It's just like Persona.
Persona.
Persona? What the fuck is happening? What is happening? Why does she think she's in a Persona game?
I have no idea.
I'm so confused. Well,
I don't even know what to
this.
say.
Well, I'll say this for her. She certainly knows how to put on a show.
There's that.
Okay.
Unfortunate sacrifice to make, I guess. It would have been very interesting to watch him figure this one out, but he was a natural bump in the road when it came to taking on my true nemesis.
Nemesis?
You can't be serious.
Nemesis?
To think I would joke about something like this?
Shut up!
Our rivalry on this scale is nothing to joke about. Do you know how long
What's going on?
How long Suno... Do you have any idea how long she's been thwarting me?
Thwarting?
What?
Oh,
What?
Okazaki, you're from Nagoya too? I feel like she doesn't even... We're nemesis. How could she even...
What is she talking about?
The nerve of her. The whole time we've been in here, she's acted like I don't even exist. And then...
Are you fucking serious? What are you even talking about?
I'm so confused.
Supervillain? Are you completely fucking delusional?
I mean, we established that.
Completely awakened. Con.
Is
I'm
that
saying
why
con.
you've been messing with Wada? Just to piss off Suno?
Oh, Nishino, you have no
Bubbles,
idea.
Bubbles,
If she'd seen how
Bubbles,
angry
pause
she
it.
was.
Pause it for a second.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry I've been quiet. I just don't know how to respond to any of this.
I'm in the middle of something, Dad. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted, You were wondering, Bubbles, you were worried that Suno's death was going to be like a meaningless second victim.
Yeah?
I don't think that's what it was. I think she was the true target.
I don't get this at all. Like,
she's the true target because
no, I get that. I get that.
Let me talk. I want to say my thing and then I'll let you talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Okazaki seems to think she's the Joker and Suno is her Batman and they're destined to fight. like she talked about rivalries and nemesis. So she thinks she's a phantom thief. What is this? So yeah, congratulations. Suno's death wasn't meaningless at all. Yay that, I guess.
Here's what I don't get. Why on earth did you set up a trap that would kill anyone? Like, I don't understand the logic behind this. It's really confusing me. Like, that spike trap wasn't targeted for anybody. It was just a spike trap. Why on earth is everyone acting like it intentionally targeted Suno? It could have been anybody.
Well, I guess it was targeting Suno. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. That's the only thing that's really bothering me about this. Everything else, I have no idea what to say. This is so surreal. I don't understand.
You think if she hated her so much, she would have done the poisoning, kidnapping, disemboweling, disembedding thing on her.
Yeah. No, chat, I understand, why, what happened. I get that. My question is the methodology. Like, it's not targeting anyone. It's just a spike trap. Spike traps could kill anybody. But everyone talks about it like it intentionally targeted her.
Because it did, apparently.
I don't know. It's just weird to me. But that's not even the weirdest thing happening right now.
She never looked at me that way before. She completely loathed me. Like a nemesis is supposed to. Like she's supposed to. Like she's always been meant to.
Huh?
And all I had to do was rough water up a little. Who cares? That's child's play for the Phantom Thief of Nagoya. Con.
Shut up!
Then you're the one who's been
stealing? Con. I'm amazed
saying
it took you this long to figure that out. Why? You mad? You want your cigar box back? Then maybe guard your stuff a little better, dunk ass.
The hell?
Everyone's complaining about their stuff getting stolen when this is some of the simplest, easiest, most beginner level stealing I've ever had to do. Are you serious? You guys just leave the stuff on your desks. It's tragic. You're tragic.
She's completely delusional.
I'm inspired is what I am. You know what kind of an opportunity I was presented with here? Locked in a game of murder and betrayal with my lifelong nemesis, my rival. Her fate was sealed the second she decided to act like she had no clue who I was.
She didn't have a clue who you were. She didn't care. What are you even talking about? You seriously think she was your nemesis? Sue didn't give a single fuck about you.
Whoa.
You wouldn't waste your time on something that's stupid.
It's not like she was a real superhero. That's not. You're completely
She just
insane.
did community service.
Perfect, you're opportunistic, eloquent, handsome, thrilling, crafty, fancy, classy, maybe.
There is nothing classy about whatever the fuck is going on here.
I'm laughing because I'm in complete shock.
Give me a second. I need to process what is happening right now. I don't understand. I understand what's happening. Don't get me wrong. What?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay. Like,
what the fuck? So she really was trying to gunning for Suno all along because she thinks she's her fucking Batman Meanwhile, if you asked Suno about this, I bet Suno would be like, what?
I'll say this.
And where does Kamimura come into this?
Yeah, really. But I'll say this, like, there were a lot of ways that I thought Chapter 3 might go. This was not one of them.
She certainly surprised us. She certainly surprised us, that's for damn sure. Look at the little smirk on her face. She thinks she's so clever. She's loving this. You know what? I think she wanted to be caught. She said stuff about how she was dropping hints, and she was so helpful in the investigation. She wanted this. She wanted us to find her.
Yep.
She had a cassette player ready to go. She was prepped. This was her moment.
This is the weirdest Chapter 3 I've ever seen.
And that's saying a lot considering we've had not one but two incestuous serial killers.
Yeah. Like,
QAnon, I don't think she's a sociopath. I don't think that's the right word to call her.
no, I think she's just bonkers.
She thinks she's a phantom thief. We've met the Phantom Thieves. We're friends with the Phantom Thieves. We played their games, and that makes us their friends. Okazaki, you are no Phantom Thief.
Yep. All right, let's.
Fucking, I can't even look at her face without cracking up.
Let's just continue on and figure out
Okay.
what is even happening.
Pass the bong.
Killed her over a completely fictional rivalry.
Fictional's a stretch. We're not fiction, are we? Reality's very real. And our rivalry, now that was very real.
Is it now?
Please, what are you doing? This
Poor
isn't
Watery.
real. This can't be real. Why are you doing this?
So Kazutoshi
Died for nothing. That's about right. It was an easy shot, the quickest way to get to Minami.
And Minami.
Died for love, or passion, or loathing. You can really say she reached the natural end of her life. A rivalry so torrid can only last for so long until someone ends up hurt. I guess I'm next. No?
God, I can't kill you fast enough at this point. Why the hell is she still here?
Good fucking question. She's gonna be dead in a minute anyway if we don't start wrapping this shit.
Then let's go.
Okay,
over
closing
what
argument.
happened.
Closing argument.
Yeah.
Now I'm just picturing Okazaki like in her room writing fan fiction about her and Suno fighting in like the city with all the lights up, and she's saying all this witty villain dialogue. she probably has a whole bunch of that stashing up in her room that she wrote herself. She just seems like the type.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm still like, I.
So Suno died for an imaginary rivalry that Okazaki made up in her head.
Yeah.
And Kamimura died for... I don't know, shut up.
I'm so confused.
Fucking Phantom Thief.
Well, I'll say this. I didn't see it coming. Oh
We
my
never
god.
see it coming.
Oh my god.
You'll never see it coming.
Halt! I have no interest in sitting through another boring, loathsome, 6-page rant about how everyone died, or what my motivations were, or any of that trash. If we must recap the case, I'm doing it myself, with flair.
Just stop
And that died, it was a big eye-opener for me. Life is short, you know, which...
She's gonna do her own closing argument.
I can't believe this is happening right now. I genuinely
this is
can't.
First in Danganronpa history, the killer doing their own closing argument. She's just like, well, if anyone's gonna send me to my death, it's going to be me.
Gave me an idea. Kamimura's short too, which would make him pretty easy to overpower. So when the temperature started dropping and it became clear someone had to die, I thought, hey, now's my chance to end a long and tumultuous character arc. Here's my chance to purge Nagoya of all that is good and kind. Here's my chance to capture a win for pure, true, righteous villainy.
What are you talking about?
So I started planning. Wada helped me out a bunch by telling me about that 3D printer. Really not that hard to fix at all. I've got one at home that's pretty similar, so I'm pretty handy with the thing. They're excellent tools for prop crafting. When he told me we'd have one, I just knew I had to incorporate it somehow. What better way than to copy Hamimoto's room key? You guys got one thing 100% spot on. I swiped it when we were in the auditorium. He was standing still, everyone was distracted. It just seemed like a perfect opportunity, you know? Why pass it up? When I saw him freaking out about it, though, looking everywhere, the key and whatnot, that was just the icing on the cake. Nothing makes me laugh like seeing some sad sack trying to find the stuff I've already got in my pocket.
Shut up! Shut up!
Then, all I had to do was get a good picture of the key on one of the AV room cameras, model it on a PC, and print it in the computer lab. Voila, new key. Isn't technology amazing?
We already know all of this shit.
Real.
Go die already.
After I set that up to print, it really didn't take too long at all, honestly, since the keys aren't all that big. I went off to work on my spike plate. Do you like it? I'm not a woodworker, but I feel like it came out pretty nicely. For a spike plate, that is. This is my first time setting a trap, but it's certainly my first time making a spike plate, so it's a little embarrassing to show it off on such a big stage. It was effective, though. I just wish I'd seen it in action. Seeing the life leave Tsunominami's eyes is something I would have paid for. How was it, Wada? Did she go uneasy? Quiet? Crying? Here's my very name to the heavens above. Kun.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Once I had that all rigged up, I grabbed a knife and a saw and I headed off on my way. Dropped them off in the supply room for later. I grabbed the key on my way back upstairs. Thank God I take precautions to keep Wada out of the computer lab. Otherwise, he might have gone in there and taken it. Looks like kicking someone's ribs and on the computer lab floor is enough to keep them out of the computer lab for a bit.
Motomoko, I want to vote. End this shit already.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay,
I
enough
want
of
to vote
that.
too.
After that, I went to the camera.
Okay, that's not enough of that.
That part was crazy
not
easy.
done.
None of that stuff is really hidden or anything. It's all labeled, so I just grabbed it and went downstairs. The funny part is how easy it was to actually poison him. Thanks for that, my. Cooking him his own separate food made it super simple. Shh, I'm talking.
Shut the fuck up!
Once his food was spiked, all I had to do was wait. So after he ate breakfast, I gave him a few minutes, and I just went to his room and scooped him up like it was nothing. He was out cold. Took him upstairs, popped his sweaters off, popped my coat off, tied him up. He wasn't super out cold though, which had me a little worried. Figured maybe I didn't use enough for hypnol, or wasn't as potent as I thought, or something like that, but he was stirring a bit. Not my favorite. So I took a precautionary measure in the form of a little trophy.
His tongue.
I cut out his tongue. Con.
This is nothing to con about.
And before you ask, I am not giving it back. I've earned it for how hard I've worked today. But anyway, I cut out his tongue, and that's when he definitely woke up. It was funny though, because he only woke up for like a second, and then he froze up and couldn't do anything. So I just went to town.
Stop describing it. Stop describing it. Just say you killed him and move on. We don't need to hear all the gory details.
We're getting all the gory details, I'm afraid.
Grabbed the wood knife and started going crazy. I wanted things to look bad.
Why?
Because if I made an absolutely gory mess of him, there's no way Hasegawa would be able to investigate it, and he's smarter than all of you. So I had to make sure he was totally out of the picture. A precautionary measure.
You did all that just to fuck with Hasegawa?
Yep. I'm afraid so. Had to be done. I popped a few holes in him, knew what I had to do, but by this point he was bleeding pretty bad, he was already dying. I would say he was choking on his own tongue, but, you know, he was mostly just choking on blood from his tongue, which was gone. He was on his way out, so I let him finish that up, and then I was like, how can I make this worse? Which is when I got the idea to cut him open.
God. Fuck. Shut up.
So I grabbed the saw and started opening him up. I had to
Oh
remember all
my
the good stuff
God!
is, so I started on that. But then it kind of seemed, I don't know, tacky, messy. Not classy, that's for sure. And what's a phantom thief without class? So I took off his head instead. I even wrapped it up. Much classier.
Hey, let us vote already!
After that, I wiped the blood off my hands. Thanks, trusty Black Hoodie. Rebandaged them, threw my coat back on, and snuck all the weapons back downstairs. Trashing Kamimuto's room was pretty quick work. Left the knife in there too, just to spice things up a little. But then the announcement went off and I had to head back upstairs. Small bump in the road. I still had the whole saw on me after all, so I was feeling a bit nervous. But since Hiroaki wanted to investigate alone, I actually got up pretty easy. I just went back downstairs and kept working. Wrote the note, left the saw in Wada's room, at the Gander's desk. I didn't think any of that crap was gonna work. Not a chance, but I wanted to make things a bit more fun. And what's more fun than a whole second mystery?
Shut up. Shut up.
By the time I got around to Suno's room, I really just couldn't help myself. I knew she was never going to see it
feel
anyway.
like I'm going insane.
Yeah.
One final show of malice. I could possibly waste the opportunity.
You destroyed her room just to... You...
You mad? You look pretty mad. What are you gonna do?
Shut up!
I took everything from you. You're just a sad little loser left behind with nothing. Cry about it.
Fuck you!
When the second round played, my job was done. That meant my mission was a success. Both of them were dead, everything was right where it needed to be, and I was off the hook. For the record, the Rehypnol, right here, this pocket. You guys never even wondered where the bottle went. There's no way you would have been able to solve this without me dropping you hints the whole time. You're all completely lackluster and incompetent.
You fucking
Masanari!
Let go of me! Let go!
Oh, he wants to punch her!
Me.
Do it, Wada!
Reach all the
Punch
way up
her!
here. Well, what a truly tragic little...
What the fuck is the matter with you?
Whoa.
Ken,
Oh,
are you
never mind,
fucking
Ken did it.
serious? This is all over your stupid supervillain roleplay? You killed 2 people over this shit? Are you kidding?
Hasagawa.
Well, you should feel honored to have landed a blow on the face of...
Just let us vote. I'm sick of
Okay,
listening to
pause.
this shit.
We need a second. We need a second.
What the fuck just happened?
Insanity. That's what happened.
My brain hurts after that. That was so much information. How can Okazaki's voice actor talk that fast?
These VAs, man, they're on another level.
Yeah. Oof.
Good for Ken for shutting her up, though. God
Yeah.
damn. So, just to review,
I can't review. I don't. Brain.
I'm going to review for you then.
Please do. Brain hurty.
She did all that because she wanted to get one over Suno and end their epic rivalry that totally existed, you guys. And she thinks she's a supervillain and a phantom thief. At least she's not a serial killer, I guess?
There's that, at
And,
least.
Yeah. That's okay. So, and poor Suno had no clue about any of this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christmas. Okay. Well, Okazaki, here's one thing about villains. They lose.
Yep. I'm sorry I was so quiet that whole time. I felt overstimulated.
Can't blame you. There was a lot going on.
I'll begin the
Oh,
voting
yeah.
process. You'll be prompted to select the student that you believe is guilty of murdering.
What?
Remember when you and I read all the profiles?
Yeah?
It did mention that she was stalking a community service worker,
Oh.
which Suno is.
Yeah. There's that.
This isn't even the first time that someone has had a unhealthy obsession with someone and killed them over it. Although at least this time it doesn't seem to be romantic. She just really, really, really wants her to fight her in the moonlight or some shit.
Yeah. What is this Sailor
And
Moon
Kamimura
nonsense?
just kind of got caught. And Kamimura just kind of got caught in the crossfire. Sucks to be him, I guess.
What is this 18 plus Sailor Moon nonsense?
Satoshi and Suno Manami.
Why will you do this? You...
Oh, shit.
I trusted you.
Do you want a hot take?
What?
Other than, dead people, Watery's the biggest victim of all this.
Yeah, for
and
real.
Here's why. Wada lost Suno. Yes. But he didn't really lose her completely. He still can remember all the times when they hung out, when she helped him with all those things.
Yeah.
He'll always have those memories of her. They're untarnished. Same thing with Ken. He still has all those memories of Kamimura, and he can remember him as he was. Those memories are untarnished. Watery, she's about to lose Okazaki, who's been like her best friend throughout all this. And her memories of her completely tarnished. She's never going to be able to think of her again without thinking of this.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I wonder if Okazaki even cared. I hope she did. About Watery, I mean.
Yeah.
Our friendship seemed genuine, but I don't know if it was. I maybe we'll find out in a second.
You weren't like this.
Sorry, boss. I was. I've been like this from the start. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you that. Really.
How could you do this to me?
It had to be done. You'll understand one day. I'm sure of it.
I won't! I'll never understand!
After all of the votes have been cast, the execution will commence.
You will. Truly, you will. You're certainly smart enough. If we had more time, I think I could have shown you the light. I think I could have shown you things you'd never even dream of. You'd have made a perfect psychic, Nishi. If only you could see the light of villainy.
Please press your buttons now.
Okay,
I will never do the sick and twisted shit you did. I will never be like you.
I think
you were
she
saying.
Did. I think she.
Yeah.
I think she did care for her. There's that, at least. No other Chapter 3 killer had that.
Cared about her in the sense of turning her into a villain.
Still! Still caring about her in her own way.
I hate you! I hate you!
You hate me? No, that can't be right. Because I died, you get to live, right? Surely you can appreciate that at the very least.
Don't try and act like you did shit for her.
What? Huh?
Don't try and spin this like some noble fucking sacrifice. You did this shit because you're completely fucking delusional. You did this shit for yourself. This has nothing to do with her. Don't drag her into it.
Thank you for voting.
Then.
Your votes are currently being tallied and will be shared with the class shortly.
Well, I suppose that's a perspective I can appreciate. I think I can probably take a guess at where the votes are leaning.
Stop fucking talking.
The class has voted for Okazaki Hanano, the ultimate mask artisan, to be executed. This conclusion was correct. As a result, Okazaki Hanano will be punished with death.
I've been waiting to hear that for so long.
Shut up.
I can't wait to see what it is. A dramatic, vile death truly befitting a fantasy.
He's excited
it's
to
going
die.
To be incredible.
Shut up.
But I still have so many things left to say. And so little time left. I feel wrong to leave without giving each of you a proper goodbye.
Kill her already.
Well, if we don't have time to say goodbye to each and every one of you, at least let me say this.
Kill her.
Nishi. In our next life, we'll be foxes. Okay?
If there are no further interruptions.
Oh, I remember that.
In that life, and in the next life too. I will follow your flame.
Okay, that hurted.
Punishment time.
That hurted. Okay, let's not do the execution just yet. I need just a second. You know what the craziest part of all this is, Bubbles?
Everything that just happened?
Well, that, but also, despite everything, I think I'm going to miss her. I hate her. I hate her so much, but it's not going to be the same without her.
Good. I hope it's not. She's been awful to everybody.
I guess so. Well, goodbye, Hanano Okazaki, the Phantom Thief of Nagoya.
You will not be missed.
I did do hope you get to be a fox, though.
I hope someone
You make a better fox than a human being.
Probably.
Dr. Yonakura Haruka, Session 1, Log 65.
Oh, she's mad.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. The embarrassment. That was the trial I just watched. There were no words.
Whose fault is that, Miss Scientist Lady?
This time around, but the trial is just a mockery. It was a mockery of everything this killing game has built up and everything it stands for.
I hope so.
Truly. Beyond that, earlier this afternoon, Student 9 kidnapped Student 4 and tortured him to death. Later on in the day, Student 11 walked into a trap that has been set up by Student 9 and died right in front of Student 6. Frankly, the entire thing was fairly crafty, but when it came to the actual trial, Yume completely...
Yume? There's nobody named Yume here.
Completely flew off the handle.
Wait.
Made a complete fool of herself. Ramble complete nonsense.
First of all, that's the first time I've ever seen her ever refer to any of the students with a name. That's not even the right name. I thought her name was Hanano.
You'd think, huh? But no, she's used multiple identities.
Yeah, she did. Maybe that's her real name? I don't know. You probably know more about this than me, Miss Scientist Lady, since you've been stalking these people.
She made a complete fool of herself. Ramble complete nonsense. Scared her fellow classmates, and then got carted off to the execution chamber.
Honestly, I'm glad she embarrassed you. It's fun seeing you miserable.
Yeah.
I think. Pulling students with particularly unique talents for execution always seems to spark his interest. I know he was disappointed that he didn't get to execute Student 11, but I warned him as much. She didn't seem like the type to crack.
You know, it's funny you say that. Because back during the Chapter 3 era, when everyone was saying that Suno was probably going to die, I was really worried that she was going to end up becoming a killer. I was really worried because I thought, well, she's going to try to protect somebody, and as a result, she'll kill to protect her friends or something.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She really was a hero.
Was that ever in doubt?
Yeah. And that's why she died.
He was probably going to be executing Student 9. And here we are. He'd been planning this one for a while, so why don't I just dive right in?
Oh boy, here we go.
Midas touch. Student 9 was strapped to a metal post and had her face mask removed. Dr. Kitamuro then attached a ceramic cast to her head that covered the student's face, ears, and part of her neck. Student 9's head was kept strapped back against the metal post during this time. With Student 9 secured, a drip affixed to the top of the post began gradually filling the ceramic cast with molten gold.
Holy... Oh, God.
Molten gold? Isn't that, really hot?
Yes! Severely!
Right.
Okay, this might be kind of a... I don't know if any of you remember this. There was a scene in Game of Thrones where a dude was demanding a crown, from the Dothraki, and they decided to answer his request by pouring a bunch of gold items into a boiling pot until they all melted, and then they dumped it on his head, and he burned to death immediately. It was pretty brutal.
That sounds about right.
I'll show you the clip when we're done with this. Yeah, Viserys, that was the guy.
Molten gold? Full gold? Who okayed that? How did that get through budgeting? This entire project had already been an absolutely massive money sink. How the hell are we...
Good.
Filling the ceramic cast with molten gold.
She's so upset.
This inflicted catastrophic burning on Student 9's face. The gold soon began filling her mouth and nose as well,
Oh.
blocking off her ability to breathe and causing further internal burning. By the time the entire cast has filled and set, Student 9 had already passed. The cast was removed, leaving the golden mask fused to her face.
Now she'll be masked forever.
Clever for that one, I bet. Frankly, I'm not all that impressed. I get what he was going for, but come on. He gave the mask maker a mask. Big surprise. Quite frankly, Dr. Kon is starting to seriously get under my nerves. He's repeatedly made attempts to go completely over my head. He's directly going against my orders in regards to the rabbit, not to mention the incident with Student 5. It's like he doesn't understand that regardless of his position amongst the others, I'm his boss. At the very least,
how sad for
we're
you.
finally going to save money on a motive. The next one isn't nearly as expensive. If anything, it's going to take some of the cost off our overhead. We've almost drained the entire budget at this point. It's time to start cutting costs where we can.
How sad for you. It's so expensive killing all these teenagers.
Truly is.
Molten gold.
Truly, you are the victim here.
Lovely. But Omoko's come back for another visit. Well, unfortunately, I have to take this. So I'll end matters here. Dr. Yonekura Haruka, Session 1, Log 65, out.
Was that her music?
No, it was Kon. It was Kon playing it.
Monomoko. You just song that played. Was that the same song that was playing?
It was.
during-
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's the that's the end of that.
That bit with the music at the end is the only one and is the one and only Kon W he will ever have in his life.
He didn't even come up with that shit on his own. He had to piggyback off Okazaki.
Thank you, Zissy. That was really funny.
Also, look at Monomoko now.
I did.
Yeah. They're becoming even more mono.
They sure are. Well, let's get the
I wanted to
scientist
raise a
visit over
concern
with.
regarding
Blah-bitty
today's trial.
bore.
Believe me, you're not the only one. I've got plenty of concerns regarding today's trial. Go on.
The students utilized the body discovery announcement in their deductions today. They were not meant to do that.
Utilized it how?
They were able to instantly exonerate 2 students that would have otherwise been extremely suspicious, as those students had already triggered the body discovery announcements, and thus could not have been the blackened. I think we need to modify the way the body discovery announcement works.
And how would you suggest we modify it?
I believe multiple students should be required to trigger the announcement. It should only play after a certain number of students have discovered the body.
Oh,
well, on the bright
but
side,
then what?
if there's a bright side to any of this, is that at least I'm going to make it through a chapter without ending up being super pissed off at the scientists.
There's that.
I mean, I'm still mad at them, don't get me wrong, but like, at least they didn't do anything super duper egregious this time. She mostly just complained a lot.
Yeah, which is funny.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Stopping them from
Well, it's
delaying
not
the
all good, but,
investigation
you know.
with that knowledge. They could have one student discover the body, then just bar anyone else from looking at it until they had finished investigating the school thoroughly. Then all they need to do is look at the body and the actual timer would start.
That does seem like a viable exploit.
I suppose we could just change the rule without telling them we changed the rule.
That may be our best bet.
Anything else?
Yes, actually. In regards to the motive, I wasn't sure when to disable it.
What do you mean?
The air conditioning system in the school was highly audible. If I had disabled it as soon as Student 4 died, like I was meant to, the students would have known immediately that something was wrong, putting the blackened at an unfair disadvantage.
So, what did you do instead?
I opted to disable the air conditioner just as Student 14 was approaching the first body, once I was sure that he would discover it. In the future, what should I do under similar circumstances?
We can handle that on a case-by-case basis. Next time, check in.
I didn't have time. Things happened rather quickly this morning.
If it's an emergency, go with your instincts. I think you did fine this time around.
Does a robot rabbit have instincts?
I don't know. Whatever.
Thank you.
I don't care.
Look who came to visit.
Seki, glad to see you're recovering well.
I don't care about anything that's happening. Blobbity bloop.
What about you? Recovering from Student 8?
I was left undamaged by Student 8's outburst.
You certainly look better, though.
Still
huh?
not
I
referring
barely
to them
even
by their
recognize
names,
you.
by the way.
It's a natural transition.
Forgive me then. I don't exactly know what's considered natural for you.
Forgiven. I'd best be going, though. I'd like to monitor the post-trial conversation.
Please do. Keep in touch, Monomoko.
Of course.
Whatever.
So how are you holding up?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
What? Because, I mean, Student 9.
What about her?
You executed your own kid.
Wait, what?
Excuse me?
What? Okay, never mind. I am pissed off now.
They had to get in one right at the end.
We've seen these masterminds execute their own underlings. We've seen them execute their own siblings. But never before has this happened. Your own child! Your own child! You gave birth to her. You raised her poorly, probably, given the everything. And then you just threw her away. I'm not even mad at Okazaki anymore. Now I'm mad for Okazaki. She never had a chance with a mother like you.
As if these people weren't
Killed her.
As if these people weren't monstrous enough.
Your own child. Your own child. That's so horrible. Your own child.
And she doesn't even care. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah, she's not sad at all. She's just like, ho-hum, I just executed my own child. And she was more mad about the fact that Okazaki made such a mess of things. Frankly, I'm glad she did. I'm glad she embarrassed you.
I don't like that people had to die for that, but still.
I hope she haunts you. I hope you wake up in the middle of the night and all you hear is con over and over again until you die.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oof.
Doesn't that, I don't know, hurt?
It doesn't. Yume was a participant in the killing game. That's all that mattered. She chose to kill someone, and she met the consequences of that. Frankly, if anything, I'm just embarrassed that she made such an ass out of herself on the way out.
You're a monster!
She's
You're
your
a
kid,
monster!
though.
Seki,
Your own
I
child!
don't care.
Your own child!
You're a father, yes?
Right, yeah, I have a daughter.
Then it makes sense you'd want me to be all broken up over this. As much as I hate to disappoint you, I'm not. My life is going to continue either way. It just has one less burden now. That's it.
Burden! Burden! That's what you saw her as. A burden. A burden.
You're despicable. Every single one of you is despicable.
I read those profiles. It said she left home at 13. I'm glad. I'm glad she got away from you for 4 years. She deserved better than you.
Severely so.
Maybe she could have been a better person if she hadn't had to live with a mother like you.
Does it get worse, folks? Let's see.
How old is your daughter?
13.
Any special skills?
No.
No.
Oh, you don't get to kill
Shane,
other people's kids.
I'm done here. Get back to work. I need to go have a conversation with the finance department.
Right.
Her own child. And Sparkle said that scientist lady over here, whose name I can't be bothered to remember, actually decided that selected her personally for the killing game. She said, we're putting her in there. Her own child.
What is wrong with these people? Sincerely.
These scientists have only done one good thing ever.
No.
And even that was negated.
No, don't call them scientists. This is not science.
Okay, what would you rather I call them?
A lot of things, but I can't repeat them on stream.
Okay, the staff has only ever done one good thing. I don't think all of you guys know that story, but it doesn't even matter because it still got negated.
Yep.
One good thing. You want me to know what that was?
Do tell.
I don't know if you guys have been following Von Babbitt's Tumblr, but basically the short version of the story is, so the shithead staff people were going around and grabbing everybody to put them in the killing game, right?
Yeah.
When they came to get Kamimura, he was in the process of leaving. But they got to him in time, and they treated him, and they saved his life. And then they put him in the killing game. One good thing they did, and it didn't even matter because he still died anyway because of that.
Didn't even let him go to a nice farm upstate on his own terms.
Nope. Instead, he got this. Again, her own child. Her own child. They poured molten gold on her face. Her own child.
And she doesn't even care. At all.
Doesn't even care. Hot damn, at least say what you want about Kokoro. At least she didn't kill Mikako.
There's that. Like, that is a new low. We all thought she was the worst mom in Danganronpa. Nope.
It's this lady.
Yep.
Jesus Christmas.
Well, that happened.
Yeah, that's how I describe it. That was the thing that happened. Oh boy.
God.
I'm sorry, wait. My audio cut out for a second because my stupid Siri decided to kick in. So can you repeat what you just said?
Hiroaki just said that happened, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you were saying something for that.
I was just saying that's how I describe it too.
Yeah.
Well, that
even my fucking Siri.
God,
her own child.
What the hell was that? I can't believe they died over something so just. God, what a fucking mess. Frankly, I'm just impressed you managed to stick around through all that. We didn't lose you once.
Good job, Ojima.
I thought for sure
good
with
job.
how messed up the body was and everything, you would have.
Oh.
Takeshi?
I'm sorry. Just fuck.
Hey, whoa. Breathe.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I've been trying so fucking hard to stay grounded all day. I didn't want to leave you alone with that shit again.
Takeshi.
Takeshi.
I've been trying really, really hard.
You did a good job. You did great.
I'm okay. See? Look at me. I'm okay. You did a good job. I'm all right.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. God. Fuck. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here.
You can go, okay? I'm all right. I'll be all right. You can go. Do what you need to do.
I don't want to leave you behind, though.
Takeshi, I'm okay. Give yourself a break, all right? Go. You can go. I'm going to talk to Wada, okay? Just stay here. Takeshi?
Yeah, I think he's finally checked out.
I'll be back soon.
Good for him. He deserves it after all that.
Yeah.
Hey, Tamba, we're sorry we thought you were a killer.
The hell do you want?
I figured I'd find you back in here. Where's Yanagi?
Don't know, don't care. He can be wherever the hell he wants. I'm done with him.
What? You don't mean that. I'm sorry for what I said.
Whatever.
No, really. I mean it. I'm sorry. I was cold and I was stressed and I was looking for someone to blame for everything because I don't know. I feel like I have no control in here. Everything just happens. And there's nothing I can do about it. Not even when it comes to keeping myself alive. Asuka was right. Without you watching my back, I have nothing. Nobody likes me. I'm not smart. I'm not strong.
Tamba.
I'm nothing.
Well, you're not.
I think I'd probably be dead now if it wasn't for you. You're strong and you're brave and you really scared everyone when you got taken away by Monomoko like that. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for saying something I knew would hurt you, just to hurt you. I just miss you.
Ruby,
Tamba.
God, fuck. You're lucky I promised to protect your ass. Now I have to forgive you.
If you don't want to forgive me, you don't have to.
Tamba. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Come here.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad they made up. We need each other.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, shut up.
We need to keep each other safe.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Me too. I was just fooling myself. Wada! Oh, Wada, are you okay?
Oh.
Wada,
Wada,
I know
I'm
you're
so
in there.
Sorry.
Open.
What do you want, Nakamigawa?
Come on.
Huh?
We're going to Suno's room. Come on.
What? But you said...
Come on.
Okay. They really made a mess out of this place.
They sure did. Because they wanted to spider.
Okay, so I'm not really, I don't know, good at this, I guess, but I had some stuff I wanted to say to you, so, hi, Suno.
Hi.
I'm sorry that I never thanked you for, I mean, you know, fixing my nose, or my mouth, or letting me hit up the medbay whenever I needed you, and, you know.
Well, you look a lot better.
Yeah, so much better. She was so good.
Everything.
She did so much for
You
everyone.
probably
I don't
did a
feel
lot
like we
more than I
appreciated her enough.
We really didn't.
Why did she have to die for something so stupid?
than I even knew, so just for everything. Thank you. You did a lot for everyone here, so I think we're gonna be a lot worse off without you. I think the world's gonna be a lot worse off without you. Yanagi's gonna take over the medbay now, I think. I'm glad you taught him everything you knew, cause, God, we'd be screwed without that. Takeshi and Hayashi are probably gonna start handling the cooking from now on. You left behind a lot of responsibilities. I'm sorry we put you through so much work. I'm sorry for making it seem like I didn't care about you.
Suno? I'm really gonna miss you. I'm sorry for stressing you out all the time. And just for making you worry about me. And for not being able to take care of myself very well after Isuno died. And for not closing my eyes.
Oh.
I love you.
I'll love you so
We're
much,
going to take
Suno.
good care of everything you left behind. I promise.
You'll always be our superhero.
Hey, here.
Huh?
Shut up. Just take it.
Did you make me new clothes?
Don't get all sentimental about it. I've been making them for a while. You dress like an idiot, and it's offensive
His
to my
secret
eyes.
project.
Wait.
Aww.
Is that why you were drawing me?
You saw that?
When I investigated the dorms, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna give him a makeover.
No, I was just brainstorming.
These are so soft.
Yeah, well, that seemed like a priority for you. So
you made these just for me?
See, Hiroaki, you're a good
stop
guy.
looking at me like that. I just wanted you to have some nice clothes for once. Besides, you dress like you don't like yourself. This is so annoying. You should take better care of yourself and have more confidence in yourself. And I think now's a good time to give it to you, cause you need to be strong now. What with Suno being gone. What? Get off me! God! Whatever. Just.
I can really just have these? I don't have to pay you or anything?
I mean, you don't have money.
I don't have a lot.
It's fine. Actually, now that you mention it, I'm charging you one thing.
Yeah?
Please, I am begging you. Let me cut your hair. It's messy and overgrown, and you don't take any care of it. Let me cut your hair. I promise it'll be good. I promise.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a good time for a change, actually.
Perfect. Come on.
What?
Come on. Let me show you my sketches.
He's so excited about this.
So I guess next chapter, Wada's gonna have a whole new outfit and a new haircut as well. Hi, Watery. How are you holding up?
Ken? You home?
Ken.
Well, if you
Ken,
don't
how
wanna
are you
let me
holding
in,
up?
It's okay, but I just wanted to check on you. I'm sorry that you lost somebody you care about. I lost somebody I care about too, so I get it, kind of, and I know that when
Watery,
you're
you're
in here,
so good.
it can be scary to be alone. I mean, so if you need someone to talk to about being alone or about Toshi or anything, I'm here.
You know what worries me, Bubbles?
You know where.
What?
Remember what was said during the little guidance counselor sessions with Ken? He has. If you don't remember,
he said a lot. What specifically?
Yeah, I'll tell you. He doesn't really have any other friends.
Aww.
I looked through the playlist. He didn't like have he had like only like one or two one-on-one interactions with other people who weren't Kamimura. Like there was one with Suno, one or two with Okazaki, and I think that was it. He didn't have anybody else.
Yeah.
He just had Kamimura. And now Kamimura's gone. And he's running out of anxiety meds. That as well.
Ugh.
I'm kind of worried about him.
You can come hang out with Hama and I. If you just want to come hang out. You don't even have to talk. Just if you need to be with people.
Well, Ken, I hope he'll be okay.
Me too. I'm glad Watery's reaching out to him too.
I'll leave you alone.
Me too. Now. She's such a sweet girl. Good night.
And that is the end of the playlist.
That was chapter 3, everyone.
Yeah.
Which means it's time for the $1 million question.
Yep.
Did you actually like this one, Bubbles?
Hang on. So, what are my thoughts on this situation?
Boy, stop it! That's not what I meant, and you know it. I'm not a simp.
Now all of China knows you're a simp.
I am not a simp. You're the simp.
Sounds like something a simp would say.
Stop.
Okay, but in all seriousness, what did I think of all this? Honestly, I'm still processing everything that happened with Okazaki at the end there, because I was prepared for a lot of things. I was not prepared for that.
No one ever is.
Never. Yeah. And ultimately, I'm going to say this clearly so we don't have any more miscommunication in the future, as I talked about earlier. Ultimately, my biggest problem with Chapter 3 has always been that it feels like the second person who dies ultimately doesn't matter. Like, the deaths here are just to get the cast smaller and easier to manage from a writing perspective. And that always felt really wasteful to me. And I never enjoyed how it gets handled.
Well, Suno's death very clearly mattered.
Yeah.
Because she was the one Okazaki was targeting all along.
No, but what I mean is, like, you know, as soon as they die, it's like they never were even part of the story at all. And that really bothers me whenever it happens. But TDP here has managed to not only do something that was actually different for once, with actually what felt like it's justified double murder, at least from the killer's perspective, but to do so in a way that felt emotionally satisfying. Like, it's sad, it's tragic and upsetting that it happened at all, but ultimately, it still mattered. And the characters didn't just breeze past those that they lost as if they never existed at all. So to me,
we're definitely going to be remembering them.
Yeah.
Wada and Ken will make sure of that.
Yeah, to me, it felt like it was handled a lot better. So,
is it your favorite chapter 3?
I'm still processing. I can't tell you that just yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will say, I enjoyed watching it. And I can't say that about every chapter 3. So,
that's true.
Yeah, Von Babbitt and the crew, you guys did a great job, as always. You guys are...
I'm still not entirely happy with the fact that we had to have two victims again, but other than that, I thought it was all right.
Yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm still processing. I'll give you my final thoughts when I'm done with that. But overall, this was a good stream. I enjoyed it. Sorry about the technical issues at the start, but I hope you guys all had it. Yeah, we'll deal with that later. But yeah, I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I hope you guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
So, are you doing staff side then?
I'll decide later. But
Okay.
thank you, Zissy, for the details there. I think that's how I say your name. But yeah, it's getting pretty late, and I think we're gonna call it here. It's been a little over 4 hours. I think that's pretty good.
Well, we spent an hour sorting out technical difficulties, so really it was 3 hours.
Yeah. But yeah. I think now's a good time to call it.
I'm not.
Anything else you want to add? TA?
I don't know. I had a thought and then I lost it.
It's okay.
I just think I'm still processing too.
Yeah, that was a lot to consider overall. So it was. I think we all just need some time to think after that.
Yeah, we can't really say if we liked it or not yet.
Yeah. At the very least, it was different, and I appreciate
it certainly was different in some way.
Yeah. All right. So
maybe not different in the ways we were hoping it would be different, but in a new and different, unexpected way, it was different.
Yep. So, thank you everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll all do well today.
Yep. Bye everyone.
Yep, as usual, I am the Bubble Man, and I'm always glad to see you here. See you guys later.